open up my YouTube page and I see your melting face. And when I hear you burn, I'm the only dent on earth. This is so meaningful to me. Yeah, you're hurting back, your greasy hair, your patchy goatee is meaningful to me. Yeah, it's meaningful to me. Yeah, yeah, your shitty playthroughs are all I need. I know you guilty, but you're meaningful to me. Yeah, you're meaningful to me. Yeah, you don't work just like my legs. Fuck the stupid trolls saying that you beg. You're not the same guy you were yesterday. Here's 150 for the vest today. It's time for a silly bubble blow, or I'm gonna close the tab and go. What's your favorite type of food? And can you read my haiku? Yeah, you're hurting back, your greasy hair, your patchy goatee is meaningful to me. Yeah, it's meaningful to me. Yeah, yeah, your shitty playthroughs are all I need. I know you guilty, but you're meaningful to me. Yeah, you're meaningful to me. Yeah, you're hurting back, your greasy hair, your patchy goatee is meaningful to me. Yeah, it's meaningful to me. Yeah, yeah, your shitty playthroughs are all I need. I know you guilty, but you're meaningful to me. Yeah, you're meaningful to me. Yeah, you're hurting back, your greasy hair, your patchy goatee is meaningful to me. Yeah, it's meaningful to me.
I have a legacy. I put in the work after all this time. I'm known for a jerk. And if you have a membership, I'll give you a perk. Money, 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 money. We're here for money, 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 money. I was a pioneer of making commentary. I was riding to the top, despite my adversaries. I'm never gonna stop, quite the contrary. When you're the best, you outlast the rest. I outlasted those motherfuckers. But now it's time to put on a vest, right? 3, 2, 1, go! People watch my streams to see if I fail and then try to strike my channel, but to no avail. No matter what they do, I always will prevail. This is how you don't play. How about DSP tries it? The fact I'm still around, I know the trolls despise it. You'll miss me when I'm gone. I know you can't deny it. When you're the best, you outlast the rest. I outlasted those motherfuckers. But now it's time to put on a vest, right? 3, 2, 1, go!
Sadly, the innovators get left in the dust. It's only those who break the records who really get remembered. So I don't think I will be remembered. If anything, it'll be my body of work that speaks for me, one day when I'm gone. And hopefully my body of work will be on the internet forever, but we certainly don't know how long YouTube's gonna last. So who fucking knows, right?
When you're the best, you outlast the rest.
I outlasted those motherfuckers.
But now it's time to put on a vest, right?
3, 2, 1, go! Everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm DSP as always, and this is the Level 1 podcast. We're busy having fun down here on Level 1. Death and taxes, microtransactions. My rhyme slow, like water, but my flow, like molasses. Still swaying on that axis. Staring at the past through these rose-tinted glasses. 15 years, man, singing the same song. I did everything correct. I did nothing wrong. It's been tough finding the strength to carry on. I'll never be like Justin Wong. The drama, the bullshit, my trolls, my haters. I'm laying down the law, and I'm putting my foot down. I'm done with it. I'm fucking done with it. The drama, the bullshit. I'm done with it. My trolls, my haters. I'm done with it. I'm just gonna live my life and have fun with it. I'm done with it. I'm fucking done with it. I'm tired of looking like dirt. Put on a crispy shirt. Take some pride in my work. Stop being a jerk. Spend some time with my wife and my son. Stay in my lane. Down here on Level 1. The truth of the matter is, I just want to have fun. I got some baked beans and a hot dog in my bun, basking in the glow of this digital summer sun. Babe, as soon as I met you, I knew you were the one. You're like a bright ray of light on my rainy day fun. So please tip me, cause super chats don't help until the end of the month. Okay? The drama, the bullshit, my trolls, my haters. I'm laying down the law, and I'm putting my foot down. I'm done with it. I'm fucking done with it. The drama, the bullshit. I'm done with it. My trolls, my haters. I'm done with it. I'm just gonna live my life and have fun with it. I'm done with it. I'm fucking done with it. I'm tired of looking like dirt. Put on a crispy shirt. Take some pride in my work. Stop being a jerk. Spend some time with my wife and my son. Stay in my lane. Down here on Level 1.
Get that out of here. Get that out of here. Hello and welcome all to the Saturday Style Atlas stream, post Christmas style. Thank you all for being here, especially those of you who don't usually get to make it, and you're only here because it is post Christmas. I appreciate it nonetheless. I appreciate your time, your patronage. Speaking of patronage, XJS with the 9-month membership, talking about roses are red, violets are blue. DSP is an F slur and a regard too, and all of that is true. All of that is true statements. Before we get into the very robust and meaningful DSP style segment, which is the vast majority of the stream, we're gonna do the Atlas News, where I tell you about things that I did, as if you care. Well, first and foremost, I had a great Christmas. It was pretty cool. That's all the information you're going to get. I'm not much of a gift giver nor a gift receiver, and that's totally fine with me. Hung out with the family, ate a bunch of food, and then I came home. So pretty standard style Christmas. What I can tell you is that I started directly after the stream on Saturday. I started Final Fantasy VII Intergrade.
Welcome, Moon and Star. I have
you.
prepared a place for you.
Thank you. I'll get to that in 1 second. But I started Final Fantasy VII Remake, Intergrade, the first part of it. And I finished it, I believe, on Christmas night. I was playing on my Steam Deck, okay? It's good. I liked it. It's my first Final Fantasy I've ever played in my entire life. I had a good time. I thought some of the chapters really drug on for what they were. I have no idea how they made that game like 40 fucking hours, because it definitely didn't need to be 40 hours. But no, it's good. And when Final Fantasy VII Remake was coming out, it was all I heard was Aerith this, Tifa that, Aerith this, Tifa that. And nobody's talking about my girl Jessie. What happened? Everybody left Jessie in the dust like she wasn't the best girl to ever exist, and I'm not going to pretend as though that's not the case. Y'all are haters and forgetful, okay? And I'll never forgive you, because it's your fault, of course. But other than that, I think that's all I did. It was mostly a Christmas time rather than me doing anything else. So I hope you all had a very good Christmas. I know that the guy definitely had a style Christmas. I don't know that it was good, but we're going to get there. Right after Dune Messiah's 17-month message saying, belated Merry Crimbus. Well, Merry Crimbus belated style to you too, brother. Thank you for your 17 months. I appreciate it. No, Cloud is not the best girl. He was looking pretty dapper in that dress. I got to give him that, but that's not my style, if you get what I'm saying. Anyway. Like I said, DSP had a Christmas style marathon that went on, and he really had a cavalcade of retards come through. He had a really honestly depressing stream. I only watched it up until he started playing games. That's when I was whisked away into the Christmas time spirit. But I really just couldn't believe that he decided to surround himself with some of the biggest regards that he could find, and then talk about detractors for a very long time. That's why this stream is titled what it is, because he just decided to be a Grinch and talk about drama and nonsense for a good portion of the stream. Aside from, of course, when he went through the gaming style schedule, which I will not subject any of you to because it was completely useless. Nobody needed to sit through him being told what games he needed to play. And that's what it was. He was incapable of just looking at game releases and deciding for himself what he wanted to play. He instead needed people to tell him what he should play, because, of course, it's all about the money and what they're interested in and not his own personal choices. But the first guest that he decided to have on, of his potential 5, which I also thought was kind of crazy, I was almost excited when he said that there was going to be 5 guests. I was like, I didn't even know that there was 5 people that liked DSP. And it turns out there wasn't, because only 2 of them showed up by the end. So the first one that we decided to have on was the very cool, very illustrious Ethan Ralph of the Kill stream. He decided to show up, and of course DSP asked the dumbest and lamest questions with the stupidest topics. I did cut most of it out because I think it's stupid. But there was a bit at the end that I thought was kind of funny. So here's Ethan Ralph, I believe, wrapping up talking about Christmas in Mexico, because of course DSP is very cultured and very curious about all sorts of cultures all over the country, and he's totally not a hermit style that never leaves his home. So he was very interested in this.
It's quirky in some ways, different in some ways, but yeah, much stronger sense of community and family actually in Mexico. Yeah.
Awesome. So for those who don't know, by the way, because many of the people watching on my stream right now.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot their most important topic, which again I did cut out because it's not great. It's not a great Christmas topic. It's not a great topic in general. They spent about 20 minutes talking about cat UTIs and the veterinary system being a scam and being a boondoggle, I believe, as Ethan Ralph called it at one point. Just again, not very festive, kind of a drag. And I just don't know why he would have decided to pick that, but whatever.
Are relative newcomers or someone who jumped on my content in the last couple of months for good reason. As you probably have heard, I had a big interview with Asmongold.
Oh, who hasn't, buddy? It's all you talk about.
And I have a lot more eyes on me now than I've ever had before, which is great. I really appreciate that. But they may not know who you are. So I just want to give a little bit of a premise that this is Ethan Ralph, and he was a guest co-host of my wrestling podcast show, Smart Guys, earlier this year. He showed up for a special episode, and then we did a big, cumulative WrestleMania recap show, and he was great, giving his opinions on everything that had happened during WrestleMania. He's a lifelong wrestling fan. When we were doing the show, he added a ton to his appearances. It was really a great part of the show, and what I wanted to do is have him back today, just get caught up. Just see what he's up to.
I love that it doesn't matter when you tune into DSP, if he's doing something, he will always pig-splain it to you as if you've never heard of him nor never tuned in your entire life, but he always has some reason why this is the case. Oh, I upgraded my setup. Oh, I decided to start doing variety styles of games. Oh, I'm doing this wrestling show, so some of you guys might not be regular viewers. It doesn't matter what he's doing. There's always something or some show that he's doing that is apparently drawing in endless eyes that are completely new every single time, just as an excuse to pig-splain. I don't think that he genuinely believes that whatsoever. It's just completely nonsensical. But it's an explanation as to why he's wasting your time for the 9 millionth time in a row, as if you've never heard of Ethan Ralph. Also, somebody's asking whose chat is on Ethan Ralph's frame. I believe that's his. I genuinely don't know. This is how DSP's stream looked with really no explanation.
To pick his brain a little bit about pro wrestling and everything that's been going on with that, and just in general stuff on the internet. So, in general, that's pretty much all I can really add. Like I said, I haven't watched anything this last year or anything, but thanks for that. So there's actually something. This is interesting. Let's talk a little bit about this. Over the course of 2025, since you were a guest on my wrestling show, people have reached out to me and said, would you ever collab with Ethan Ralph? Would you do content with him? Would you do something with him? And the answer I always give is exactly the same. I have no problem with Ethan Ralph. He was
DSP, one of the only people to ever have interacted with Ethan Ralph or known about his escapades and not taken any issue nor umbrage with what was going on and the way that he behaves. And I'm not surprised by that at all. DSP is kind of in the same boat. Again, I can't believe that he would interact with somebody that actively fled to Mexico to avoid child support, is a prolific revenge pornographer, has blown smoke in the face of his own child, has I believe this. I don't know if this is entirely true. This is what I heard. Made his ex clean up the piss bottles that he spilt on the floor during a stream. All of that is kind of where I would have to draw the line somewhere in there. But DSP, of course, not an issue whatsoever. He either doesn't know, which I find hard to believe, or doesn't care. As long as you have a positive view of DSP and you're nice enough to him, he doesn't have any issue with any of your behavior. That's the way he's always been.
A great guest on my show. He added a lot to the commentary on wrestling, and he was professional. I personally, I have no
Babies
problem
can have a
with it.
little
A
smoke
lot of
as a
people on the
treat.
internet, as you know, do have problems with you. I don't really give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the kind of guy, I give everyone a fair shake. I base myself off of personal experiences that I have with people. So that's why, because people, why would you associate with him? Because I don't have a problem with him. He doesn't have a problem with me. We had a good interaction. Why would I have a problem, right?
And there it is. That's the confirmation. He's never done anything to me, and he was nice to me when we talked. So therefore, there's nothing on this planet that could make me have a negative opinion of him, because everything that makes up a person and their character is what I experience personally. The way that they behave outside of this is completely irrelevant to DSP. Look no further than some of the people that he keeps around in his mod, or as his mods, and in his chat, obviously.
But the thing is, I really feel, and this is my take, and I'd love to hear your take, I feel like the kind of content we do is completely worlds apart. You know, I'm sitting here doing chill gameplay, hanging out with an audience, covering, you know, video games. I purposefully try to keep myself out of drama. Like, that's something, one of the major focuses I've had in 2025. Separate myself from the toxic element that I was associated with, move forward positively in a way that's just games, positivity, and fun with an audience. I want people to actually unplug themselves from drama when they come to my streams and have a good time.
You'll see that it's not going to be the case on this Christmas style stream. It's basically nothing but talking about Detractor's drama and Asmongold, which in and of itself is drama. But if that was the case, if that's really what he's like trying to do, why are you bringing on Ethan Ralph of the Pill stream onto your channel? That just doesn't make any sort of sense. He is one of the, I'm going to call him a primogenitor of internet blood sports. That's literally the content that he used to do. Some of the most toxic and insane arguments and behaviors that you could do came from Ethan Ralph, and yet here we are having him on. How cool is that? How neat?
That's what I'm focused on. So with that in mind, a lot of the stuff that you do, you're covering current events, you're covering politics, you're covering drama. You're a different kind of creator than me. So it's hard for me to say, like, where would the crossover be that would make sense? Maybe someday there would be one, right? But
yes, and DSP is just filling all of the air. Oftentimes you would think that Ethan Ralph is completely frozen and not there anymore, like he's paused his feed and just left up a still. He's so, I'm gonna say, pilled out or drunk. I'm not sure. And it's even harder with the black and white filter on, which, you know, he keeps on for obvious reasons.
for me, like, when people ask me that question, I'm like, it's not that I don't like Ethan Ralph. It's not like, oh, I'm staying away from him. It's like, what would we possibly do together? He's not going to jump on a co-op playthrough with me of a random game. And I don't even follow politics. How am I going to jump on his stream and talk about stuff? Right?
You know, I'm a lifelong gamer. I don't get to play games very much either anymore. But yeah, that's not really my content. You know, playthroughs and live game. I've done some gaming streams here and there. It's been a while. But you know, that's your thing. That's how you got known. I got known off drama, politics, interviews, sometimes with controversy.
I love that his frame isn't centered either. There's like the little black border on the left side.
Stuff like
I'm
that.
nitpicking,
People ask me
but
the same thing. And first off, I'd already known that you were, you know, not going to continue the wrestling show. That was a lane that maybe we could collab on. And they would ask me, "Oh, when are you going to do something else with DSP?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know. I have no problems with him at all." Basically the same thing you said. It's like, well, whenever we have a chance. And then you messaged me. It was a few days ago. I didn't see it at first, actually, because I've been so, you know, busy with my cat and still trying to do this show, etc. And so
this is just nothing as well. Like, we didn't even bother to get on guests that were actually going to have anything to say. He's actually just agreeing with everything DSP just said and then reiterating anyway.
when I did see it, I jumped
Very
on
good
it.
use of our
It's
time
Christmas
here.
And I was happy you asked me on. And yeah, same thing happened to me. And it's like, is there any heat there, to use a wrestling term? No. I mean, we did our thing on a couple wrestling shows, and then really hasn't presented
Stolen
itself
Valor
since
gamer.
until Christmas time. It has a way of bringing people together.
Right.
And I know you get hit from some people as well. And you've done a good job from what I've seen of putting that behind you. Now, the last, I'd say, month and a half, I've really tried to dedicate myself more towards my bread and butter, which is political coverage, some drama coverage that doesn't involve myself. I talk about this a lot. That's the easy cheapest content to do.
I
Actually,
see Norscout in the that was just Norscout in the Ethan Ralph chat over there. That'll be relevant in a few minutes. We got some JPEGs to look at. I know you guys are excited when the JPEGs are getting pulled out.
is to come out here and talk about your own drama. And to feed into the A-logs or the haters or whatever you want to call them.
Detractor
Because it's
talk.
so easy. Like, you can just come out here and do it, but it actually diminishes yourself. And most people who like you in your own audience don't want to hear that stuff for the most part, right? That's not what they're there for. You're actually feeding and entertaining the people who hate you. So I'm trying to reteach myself that as well. And I think it's been pretty solid. The last month and a half. Now, there was a couple months in October through mid-November. I was on a tear there, feuding.
I don't know how anybody watches an Ethan Ralph stream. If this is the cadence that we're speaking with, if this is the kind of pussyfooting that we do in a conversation, this is tough, buddy. But it's nice to know that there's two like minds here, two individuals that are just completely incapable of understanding that they constantly feed the trolls and that all of their behavior is always leaning more towards entertaining the people that hate them the most. They're very cool that they're hanging out together
with people. I'm just kind of tired of that. Especially the people I was feuding with. It's like, why am I even talking about those folks? It's just a waste of my time and talents, to be honest.
That's right. It's tough to not fall into the trap, because guys like us, we have people who watch every single thing that we do on the internet and even off the internet 24/7. They're literally stalking us. So they can find.
That's not. Oh no, but it's not stalking though. You're uploading all of it to the public. You're allowing them to view it. It's not like, the Clippers are peering in through his windows with, shaky camcorders and recording everything he's doing. He is willingly uploading all of this footage every single day to his own channel publicly. His ideal fan really should be people who watch all of his content every single day. That's he's gonna make the most money off of on a regular basis. But if you do that, you're stalking, then why are you uploading it? That just doesn't make any sort of sense. You can't be upset people are watching content that you uploaded.
Find something that they can farm for clips, for content, for profit.
Yes.
So we have to be careful. Like a month ago, I had this amazing opportunity to have this interview with Asmongold.
Oh, here's Asmongold again. There's going to be a lot of that.
And I have
we can't let go of Asmongold.
But now it's like, oh God. It's different because I have like
he's our light and shining darkness.
New people who are checking me out a day. They don't know anything about this crap. They don't know about the drama. They don't know about my detractors. It's hard because when you have an audience who know you versus a new audience that doesn't, you have to find that balance where they're going to ask you questions about, well, why don't you do this? Well, it's because of my detractors. Oh, well, they don't want to hear about detractors all day. They just want to enjoy games. They just want to chill. They're like you now, right? You're your new person. They want to be hanging out with you. They don't want to hear about toxic stuff all day.
Then why are they asking questions? If you don't want to know about toxic things about DSP, then just never type in the chat. Skip over all of the parts where he responds to the negativity in his chat, because he does that quite often, despite understanding his circumstances. And I guess just listen to the gameplay, but even that will turn toxic inevitably. So if you don't want toxicity in a DSP stream, your best bet is to not watch it. I think that's about all I can prescribe, is to just turn it off and think you like DSP instead. That's the only way that you're going to get what you want.
Tough. It's a tough line to walk. It's been very challenging the last 30 days for me to find that balance. And it hasn't been perfect, but I've done my best, I feel, to try to not be constantly talking about the drama, getting into any kind of a feud, and just kind of doing chill content,
super chill content.
I have nothing against you at all.
You guys remember when we were berating Wings of Redemption the other day and talking about how he's off of his medications and how his mods are coddling him and actively ruining his life, and the DSP totally can't relate to that. You guys remember all of that? I remember it was just it was about a month ago. Not even. It was probably 3 weeks.
Like, if ever
but we stay out of drama over here.
We could collab on something where it made sense. The door's open. It's just like don't really do the same stuff. So in what realm would that happen? Maybe something will one day, right? Maybe we'll find a common ground. Wrestling was that for a little bit, and then it kind of it fell out from
Maybe-
under.
Maybe a game. My haters don't think I'm a gamer. I actually have been since I was 4 years old. Maybe do some play.
Ethan Ralph is a gamer like your mom's a gamer or like your uncle's a gamer, and that they might play a game maybe once a year because it's like in the room. But I'm not convinced that Ethan Ralph is spending his time, throwing down hours on a ton of games a year. I'm not buying it. We're more into different vices,
Playthrough of something or some type of competitive thing. I'm a little bit rusty. The last game I've been playing, college football 26. I did pick that up. I'm a sports gaming fan. They brought back the college football series.
Right. Real gamers are sports gaming fans. So every cousin you have that plays FIFA and Rocket League, those are real gamers, buddy. That's who we really need to that's who we need to cater to in the gaming industry, obviously.
That year, but yeah, my gaming experience.
No shade to Rocket League, of
spans,
course.
every genre, really.
Shame to FIFA fans,
Oblivion, Skyrim, the old BioWare stuff, Mario. Grew up a huge Nintendo fan. Still am, actually. And Metal Gear Solid, the whole series. I played a little bit of the new remake, which I enjoyed. I still, like I said, I don't get a lot of time because, your content's gaming, right? A lot of it. And so you can play it on air, right? Well, when I get off air, I have, maybe 2 to 4
Welcome,
hours
Moon and Star.
after,
I have
and
prepared
then
a place for
maybe
you.
an hour or two in the morning to do.
Yo, big ups Joseph Moy for joining the 60 Skulls. Big ups, brother. I appreciate it.
My hobbies or things that I enjoy. And a lot of times that's wrestling. Maybe I'll get to play a little, do a little gaming here and there. But yeah, I wouldn't be against something like that. But yeah, it's just the opportunity.
Gout calling out the bobblehead time. Yeah, well, and you'll notice this. DSP doesn't have anything to include. He's not digging any deeper. He's not asking, oh, what do you like about this game? How long ago did you play this? Do you remember this, that, or the other? What's your favorite part? He doesn't care about any of it. Yes, it's literally just bobblehead time. He's not listening. He's just agreeing, letting Ethan Ralph say his lines, and then we're going to move on to the next thing as if we're on some sort of insane time crunch, which is just not true. DSP wound up taking like 5 fucking breaks before I even left the stream, before the gameplay started. We spent so much time away from the stream. I'm genuinely curious how much time we spent on the stream. But yeah, he's not listening.
Hadn't presented itself, and I had some people in my own audience, like I said, saying the same thing or thinking there was some type of issue there. No, it wasn't. We just kind of do different stuff, really.
Right. Okay. Well, first of all, thanks for appearing. Thanks for coming by. I want to say again,
like there's no follow-up. There's no genuine. Great. Anyway, get the fuck out. Doors right there, brother. At any time, you're good to leave.
Happy holidays. I wish you the best. I hope that everything's going good for you down there in Mexico. I do have one minor hot seat question. Do you mind one hot seat question? Okay.
I don't mind a hot seat, but I do have one submitted in for you. There were a couple others, but I think
okay.
This guy hates you. I don't know, but go
it's
ahead.
true. He does.
The other guy.
It's true.
I'll ask you one. You ask me one, and then we'll be good. Sound good? We got to give the people a little bit of the drama, right? We got to do.
But I thought we just went on an entire tirade about how we don't cater to the people that love the drama and that hate us, and that we are actively like I was gonna say rejigger, but that's not. I don't think I'm allowed to even say that. We're like reframing the way we do our content to not feed the trolls or whatever. But now we got to give them a little bit of drama. We got to keep teasing all of the people so that they continue to come back and analyze with a fine-tooth comb all of the content to look for more drama. This is just DSP feeding the trolls purposefully. He knows what he's doing. He's just really, really bad at it.
That's fine.
Okay. Honest hot seat question. People are asking it in my chat right now. You don't even have to answer it if you don't want, or you could just make something up. Why do you film in black and white when you have your face cam on?
Because I have rosacea, actually, and I like the
classic rosacea.
Actually, I could turn it off for a second if you want. my face gets red sometimes. Rosacea is a lifelong condition, and so I started this when I would get a breakout. Sometimes it get red around here. It's like the T zone is what they call it.
Yeah.
And also
Wow,
I
very
think it kind
educated,
of
Ethan Ralph, with
that's
the
the film
T-zone
noir look.
talk.
It's kind of a unique look in my opinion. Maybe that's
It's not
just
a unique
my
look. The black and white filter is the filter I see women use when they don't want to do their makeup, and they don't want you to know what colors they actually are. And that's kind of what I figured was going on with Ethan Ralph. And as far as I know, it is, because he gets red with the flush when he's when he's drinking or when he's pilled out. Oftentimes he's purple, I've seen. Which I don't think is a healthy color, and he should probably go get that checked out at a hospital or something. But that's why he uses the black and white filter. I'm not falling for the rosacea talk here. It ain't gonna happen.
love of old film and stuff coming through, but yeah, there's no big secret there. That's the reason. I was waiting for a real hotspot question, but let me see if I can.
Dude, I don't care. This is the thing. I don't care about
Holy
this shit. I don't care.
He's so much more red than DSP. It just goes to show you how pale-skinned and ghoulish DSP is as an individual. When Ethan Ralph finally turns off the cam and you see how red he is with color.
Bro, any drama with anyone on the internet, I'm so like don't give a fuck about any of this stuff. You know?
I guess he has been more
I
red.
probably
To be
could've
fair
turned
to
it
him,
off,
I
but,
guess.
There you go.
It's
I'm in
still
living
not
color
healthy.
here, but yeah, that's how I got started doing that. Oh, and the question I have, well, there's a couple North Scout. I don't know if you know who this guy is, but he said something about
ESP doesn't know anybody.
review. I don't know what that is about.
No,
I'm not
it's the usual. So a dev reached out to me and said, "Hey, we'd like to give you a copy of our game for free. It would be cool if you played it because we're trying to get some exposure, and a DLC is coming out." I was like, "Cool, send it my way." So they sent it my way. I played it. I love the game so far. I only played like 2.5 hours. I'm like, the game's great. So what do my trolls do? They go over to this developer,
Right.
and they harass them.
Well, no. Well, I mean, it depends on your definition of harassment. If you mean asking questions in a large quantity from a bunch of different people, I mean, sure, I guess. But I feel like you are allowed to ask any question that you would like to anybody that you would like. And if a bunch of people decide to do it at once, I mean, are we really going to call that harassment? I feel like that's a bit of a stretch.
Say, how dare you send a free copy to Darkside Phil? Don't you know that he's like Satan? Don't you know that he's done this horrible thing and that horrible thing and this horrible thing and that horrible thing? And of course, it's all nonsense. It's not actually things that happened. It's what they spin it to be.
And comparing DSP to Satan, I think is a bit of a stretch because, Satan, he commands some sort of like respect and authority, and like actually has the ability to like overpower people with charm and the silver tongue. And DSP has none of that. If you just believe for 1 second, DSP has none of those features. He wishes that he did. But that aside, we'll actually read what North Scout specifically sent to the Steam devs here, where he asked on the Steam forums. This is old hat, by the way. I'm sure many of you are aware, but North Scout said, "You guys really did business with DSP. He is one of the worst people on the internet. A completely disgusting, grifting, terrible person, and you guys got in bed with him. Says a lot about this studio." I think that's a fairly normal thing to say. I think if you hold these opinions about DSP, you probably have the same wonder, especially if you enjoyed the game or played it or liked the studio. So I think that's a fair thing to ask, to say at them on a public forum. And so they responded, of course. And they said, this is a developer of the game here responding. "Recently, a collector's edition of our game was sent to a content creator as a part of a broader marketing outreach effort. This copy was sent without sufficient vetting and should not have gone out under our existing standards. Once concerns were brought to our attention, we reviewed the situation internally and have tightened our outreach process going forward." Now, obviously, this is corpo speak. This could not be the case. This could be them covering their ass. But if you do look at the wording, the specific verbiage here, they have internal rules that were apparently not followed, and that is the only way that DSP received this outreach, the only way that he received this game. So moving forward, DSP might point back to this and be like, this is the reason I can't get, free copies, or I can't do review this, that, or the other, or none of these companies want to work with me. And that's just not the case if you believe the verbiage they used. They already had existing standards that would have disqualified him. They just weren't followed. There were already rules in place that said no fat losers named DSP Gaming are to be ever outreached to, and they weren't followed. So don't believe the nonsense when he says that it's detractors in the future, because bringing up to them that their own rules weren't followed is it's not the fault of detractors. These rules were already set in place. It's bad employees that were the only light that he had. But, we'll hear his cope and his lies here.
And of course, the dev now has been bombarded with a bunch of toxic people and says,
Norscout's a Kino watcher. He's a Kino watcher. I seen him in Ethan Ralph's chat a second ago. I've seen him in Detractor chats before. He's been in my chat. I have no issue with Norscout whatsoever. Big ups Norscout.
We got to save face. So all they say is, oh, big mistake. We shouldn't have sent it to him, whatever. Who cares? Like, I don't care. It doesn't affect anything. You know what I mean? Like, these people are content farmers for themselves. Like we just talked about, like everything we do, these people are trying to stalk 24/7 so they can make content out of it to make money. So to them, if we go harass a game dev that sent DSP a free game, we get videos. Like, yeah, but it doesn't affect me. Why do I care? I'm still playing the game. I like it. I wasn't in a business relationship with them. They're not paying me to play their game. Who gives a shit? It's literally their own really weird.
But it will affect him. He's said this before. I'm using his own Gaudy logic here. It will affect him. If one company does this and they receive backlash for it and it gets talked about, other developers might take notice. And if they didn't have these internal rules to disqualify DSP from the outreach program, they might put them into place because they also don't want their game either review bombed or their Steam forums filled up with this nonsense or comments left on their trailers or what have you. He's said this before himself, so I don't know how he can pretend as though this is not going to affect him when he's specifically stated before that it does. But also, I'm not aware that Norscout makes any money off of detractor videos or anything of the sort, not to my knowledge. So he's out here doing the work so that other detractors can make money. I'm not quite following that logic myself. But money is all that DSP can ever see. He doesn't really... he doesn't understand that some people do it for the love of the game, which is probably the most respectable thing out here. Fucking with DSP for the love of it is incredibly based. Big ups. Thank you, Quasar, for the 2, saying, on the real, though, buy the game. It's quite good. I owned the game. I played the first act of it. I believe there's 3. And then I seen that they were pushing out like quality of life features and whatnot. So I put the game down and I'll probably restart it eventually when it's all said and done. Maybe even with the DLC. I don't know.
Very hyper fixated autistic style audience that cares about that kind of shit. It doesn't affect me and my audience at all. So we just move on our merry way and have a great positive time. We're having great streams. We like the game. I'm actually playing it later in the week. Who cares? Okay. Let them go do their crap, right? Who gives a shit?
Yeah, and they spin.
Oh, fuck. That was the end of the clip? Oh, that's whack. I didn't cut this one, to be fair. So, all right. Well, that's the end of the Ethan Ralph clip. We're going to move right on in to a segment that I didn't see coming. I didn't know... I really didn't know that this individual was going to be brought up on the Christmas stream. Kind of struggled to see how it was relevant to even then. I was a bit taken aback. But... here we have our next drama segment here. Kind of out of the blue, if you ask me.
Did I give RTU his chip back? No. If you haven't been following, maybe you're way behind. The whole idea way earlier this year was that I was going to do a stream with RTU. And it was supposed to be me and him teaming up to kind of review all the stuff.
Team up of the century. The dynamic duo.
Been involved with me.
Am I going to cover the strange Christmas Day video? Yeah, that's the last thing we'll look at. I have it in here. Unedited, raw style from the guy himself.
And to expose them and show a bunch of stuff. He wanted none of it. He's an idiot. He's literally like a blubbering moron.
Right.
And he just didn't get it.
He didn't get it. If you don't want to work with DSP, it's because you're a blubbering moron and you just don't understand what's going on around you. It couldn't have anything to do with the fact that he has like a decade-long feud with you or the fact that you were only trying to utilize him as a tool in your own regarded as war that you were fighting, or that you were trying to, put together some nonsensical narrative about being the king snake that just on its face doesn't make any sort of sense, and that's before you even get into the details. Yeah, it had nothing to do with that, of course. It only had to do with that RTU couldn't understand it. And this is not a defense of RTU at all, but I find it incredibly peculiar that everybody who doesn't want to work with DSP, who just doesn't get on his whatever dumbass scheme he is running, they're just instantly stupid and knuckle dragging, as he calls it. Which, by the way, I've never heard anybody use knuckle dragging in a non-racist way. I find it very strange that DSP is an avid user of it. He's the only person I've ever heard use it in that way. So, that's my own twisted world that I live in. But
I'm like, okay, this is like a big opportunity. Everyone's watching us. It's going to go viral. And he goes, Phil, why is your microphone pointing from up here? Aren't you aware that your microphone should be down there when you talk into it, that's a dynamic microphone? And I'm like, what? Like, I was actually, like, my mind was, like, rattled. Because
my mind was rattled?
It was so bizarre. Like, dude, we're on a stream right now, okay? Literally, this stream is being watched by tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people, right?
Uh-huh. And I think tens of thousands is a bit of an overstatement, is it not? Like, I know some cool guys pull, 1,000 viewers or whatever, looking at that old man over there, Unk Insider, they call him. He pulls 1,000 people, but to pretend as though 10,000 people are giving a shit about DSP Live, I think is a bit of a stretch. I think we're inflating our ego a bit here, are we not?
Why would you bring up a micro?
I think on a good day, it's, hundreds. Yeah, even he said hundreds of thousands. You're right. I completely spaced on that. I thought even 10,000 is a bit much. Hundreds of thousands is insane. But I think on a good day for DSP, you're lucky if 5,000 people give a shit about him.
Microphone position. Are you mentally deficient? Like, this is our opportunity from people you don't like, for the record. Like, people he actually detests, who've been on his case for so many years, like 2 years straight, right? It's like, now's your chance. Now we can actually have this kind of like, the enemy of my enemy isn't really my friend, but at least we can team up to do something that people will talk about and be interested in. And
why would he give a shit, though? Like, I just don't understand why he ever thought this was going to work. These internet feuds, like, they're not... I don't know, they're not actual warfare. There's not actually anything to be gained. Like, you can throw it all away and there's really no loss here. It's just dumb internet nonsense. So, like, why would he ever want to work with you? Nobody who has ever worked with DSP has ever come out on top. The internet just unanimously views you in a worse light. They all agree that by agreeing with DSP, you are somehow inherently dumber for doing it. And like, I didn't make the rules. That's just the way it is. People will argue with DSP even when he's right because he just draws it out of them. He's so unlikable. So partnering yourself with DSP in any way is kind of a death sentence in and of itself, especially against Kino Casino, who is, I don't know if they're still incredibly popular, but at least at that time they were all in my fucking feed. I'm an avid Kino watcher myself. I enjoy a good clip or two. But it just didn't seem like a good way to go anyway, partnering with DSP. Thank you, Jordan Fadeaway, for the 2, saying DSP, RTU, Ethan Ralph, and Gayhole are the Dent Vengers. Well, it would be RTU if you would have got the fucking message and got on the game plan. Come on, dude. Fucking idiot. Thank you, Jordan Fadeaway, for the 2. It's true. The Dent Vengers.
instead of
Also, spoiling our next guest, Gayhole. Come on, man. I was building up.
having the intelligence, the even one spark, you'd think there'd be like one spark in the brain. They'd be like, oh, okay, I see what's going on here. This is a one-time thing. This will be cool. Instead, he goes, your microphone's in the wrong spot. And the moment he said that, I knew the whole thing was off. I was like, I'm not dealing with the level of intelligence that I thought I was. I thought this guy actually was semi-intelligent and that he would get it. he didn't understand a damn thing about what was going on.
I actually believe RTU knew exactly what was going on, that he was being used by Phil to try and push some dumbass narrative that just didn't make sense, and picking a even bigger fight with Kino Casino in the end, and partnering himself with somebody that nobody liked. Kino Casino received endless flack for partnering with DSP. I know that people who liked Asmongold no longer watch Asmongold clips as regularly, if at all, because he dealt with DSP in the way that he did. It's a losing bet. Who would ever partner with this guy? But apparently you're an idiot if you don't, because he's liked now, you guys. The entire internet has changed their opinion because Asmongold talked to him one time. Oh, and also because he got the Kino bump like a year ago or 2 years at this point. I don't remember. It's a long time in the Snortags.
So at that point,
it's crazy that the internet always has to change their opinion to be positive. It's never negative, but it's always changing to be positive.
I was like, I'm on my own. I'm gonna have to try to. I wasn't planning on doing it on my own. I was thinking he would pick from a list of topics that I had there. We would discuss. I would give feedback, or background. He would enjoy that and like go off of each other, and it would be like a good stream. Honestly, I thought it would actually put him in a good light.
Oh yeah,
he wasn't ready for that.
He wasn't ready for the good light, the bump that DSP was going to give him. That's what it was. I also like that he's admitted here that he didn't expect to do the whole stream by himself. He didn't actually expect to have to entertain. He expected RTU to carry at least half of the show for him. And maybe that's why it didn't go as well as it could have. It was RTU's fault, you guys. That stream was as stupid and regarded as it was because of RTU.
Ready for stupidity.
It wasn't the incredibly hard to follow narrative that he was pushing, nor the details that didn't make any sort of sense, nor all of the retconning. All of that is completely irrelevant.
He was ready for like armpit scratching and knuckle dragging and trying to hit two rocks together to start a spark. That's what the level.
See, and it's the armpit scratching and knuckle dragging combo specifically. Again, maybe it's my own mind, but buddy, you're painting a picture here that I don't think you're supposed to be painting.
Stuff he's doing. So he just didn't understand what we were doing.
Did he even said rock
So after that, I was like, well, that's it. Drop it.
Buddy.
Done with that. Get it over with, which I did. If you didn't notice, that was it. After that, I was like, all right, we're done. Move on. Don't even, bother with any of the nonsense anymore. Just we do our own thing. We play games and we chill and we have fun. I'm not, no more drama for me. I tap out because if I literally can't get someone who literally, it's like, here is a delicious buffet of food, a gourmet feast. Here you go. And they're like, oh no, what's that over there? Like, oh my God, I can't help you. So I give up. I really did. That was the point where I just gave.
DSP painting his nonsense as a gourmet feast is incredible. Absolutely. When the second he pitched it, you could tell it was the dumbest thing you'd ever seen. But it's a gourmet feast, you guys.
Gave up. I was like, enough. I'm not going to bother with this crap anymore. And then I just disassociated myself from it completely, and it worked, right? This year has been great. Like, enough of this nonsense.
And yet, here we are talking about RTU over a year later and talking about the plights and foibles that we had with him on our Christmas stream, which is supposed to be a time of merriment. We're supposed to be having a good, chill time. Notice that he's not talking.
Everything you're telling me about RTU is all news to me, and I don't care. Like, seriously, he has an ASMR channel. He couldn't hack Log Call Live. He got fired. I don't care. I know nothing about it. I literally, the last time I even knew about RTU was when he was on the show. That was it. I don't care about this man at all. I have no association, no care. Like, last possible thing I could care about in my life would be what he's doing.
And once again, you will notice that none of the negatives that DSP said about RTU had anything to do with his behavior outside of interacting with DSP. Has nothing to do with the copyright strikes, nothing to do with the way that he behaved with Jay and all of that nonsense, nothing to do with deleting his channel and just being a giant ignoramus and seething out about politics or whatever on his stream. None of that was ever brought up because none of that is relevant to DSP. It is exclusively about everything that he did to DSP and how he didn't go along with his stupid fuck plan. That's all DSP cares about. It's the only reason he has a negative view on RTU. Nothing to do about, you know, the way he treats his kids or the way that he operates his content in general. Just none of it. It's all about DSP all day long. If you're nice to him, he thinks that you're the best person on the planet. Simple as.
So I don't need to know about any of it. Done.
Also, once again, getting into bed with somebody that he knows nothing about. He does it. He did it with Ethan Ralph. He did it with PPP in the Kino Casino, doing it with RTU. He has no care in the world what these people are about before he gets there, as long as they're nice in DMs. It's absolutely insane because he will inevitably get flack for their shenanigans when the time comes, as everybody does with him. If you interact with DSP, you get shit on for DSP stuff. If he interacts with somebody else, he's going to get shit on for their nonsense. And he should have seen that with PPP at least, but he doesn't care. Once again, just sitting around. We're waiting for feedback. We want people to talk about RTU.
So for the record, I am... Hold on. Let's take a look at a couple things.
Got to check our phone live, obviously.
Check on.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Because again, I have to follow up on a lot of stuff today. I have a few people who I'm waiting to hear back on. To be honest, I don't think we're gonna have too many guests today. I think we have one right now who's actually just messaged me and says I'm ready to come on. There's two maybes who are interested. And there was one long shot. So we'll see what happens. If this next guest is the last guest of the day, I wouldn't be surprised. It's fine. Then we can game. We can have food. We can have a good time together. But let's see what happens. All right?
And I think that's so sad to reach out to 5 different people and only 2 of them have so little going on in their life at that point that they have said, fuck it. Yeah, I'll go on DSP stream, I guess. The other 3 individuals, one of which being Asmongold, of course, that was our long shot that never even responded, never gave us the time of day, was the big shot, hot shot Asmongold. It's just so, he opened with saying that he's going to have 5 guests and then wound up with 2. And 3 of them weren't even, they didn't even really respond. 2 of them said maybe. Crazy. Thank you, The Grippa, for the 2, saying Phil has no internet survival instincts. Absolutely. He doesn't know how it works. He's been on the internet longer than some of the people, myself included, but people in the chat have been alive. And yet, here he is, years and years later, still not understanding not only his circumstances, but the way that other people behave on the same platform that he's been on the whole time. It's crazy that he's incapable of learning the very basics of behaving on the internet.
All right. So, quick break while I get set up here.
Imagine that. Quick break, quick break.
Then we will... I'll start playing the music again, by the way, so you have something to listen to while we're getting set up.
All right. So that is the end of the RTU segment. I see Chaotic One is playing Tamriel Rebuilt in the chat. Very, very cool. I need to experience more of Tamriel Rebuilt myself in Morrowind. Took a Morrowind break so I could play Final Fantasy VII. But going to the next segment here, we've of course got Gay who spent, I'm going to tell you, an exorbitant amount of time talking about detractors and trolling on the internet. It was what I thought was arguably the most interesting part, just because of how much of it was actually about drama. It wasn't even really interlaced, I don't think, with it wasn't even really interlaced with non-drama talk. That all came at the end, where they decided to talk about video games and the potential price of the Steam machine, as if anybody gave a fuck.
There he is in the flesh. Gahul, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. How about you, Phil?
I'm doing good. Let's get you try to be like a...
Oh no, this guy again. Well, yeah, and you'll notice a pattern here that everybody that DSP could get on is just PPP sloppy seconds. You'll notice that it's Ethan Ralph, a member of the sector who worked with DSP for a while, or not DSP, but worked with PPP for a while, and Gayhole, who had a completely separate wrestling style show with PPP. So we couldn't even get real, authentic DSP exclusive style characters. We couldn't get an Arturo. We couldn't get definitely couldn't get a John or Howard. Obviously, we couldn't get a Brian. Couldn't even get. I had another one and I've lost it. I'm on my DSP list style here. Ptolemayo. We couldn't get a June the King. Couldn't get none of that, obviously. We could only get sloppies from PPP. That's crazy. And thank you so much, Manic Skeleton, for the 5 gifted. Definitely honoring the house unmourned. I appreciate it. Big ups.
Semi-normal ratio on my stream. I'll actually, here we go. Doing a little bit more. There we go. That's pretty good. And let me get my webcam a little bit over. There we go. So I've got you bumped up all the way volume-wise, but I think you may be a little low. If you can up your mic a little more, that would be great. Let's test it.
All right. Is that better for you?
That's much better, actually. I think that might work out. Let's ask the audience.
Right.
Oh, yeah, only Ice Kit Kat saying not even Snaggletooth. It's true. Where was Toothless? Doesn't make sense, man.
What does the audience have to say? Does Gahul sound good before we start recording and everything? Is he good?
We all good?
You sounding good? Okay, people are saying yeah. All right, cool. All right. Welcome back, everyone. And ladies and gentlemen, my second guest of the day is here. Gahul, also one of my former co-hosts from the Smart Guys Wrestling Commentary Show over on the DSP Reacts channel. How are you? How's it going, man? Happy holidays. And what are you up to? How are you, man?
I'm doing great, Phil. Merry Christmas, happy holidays, all that jazz. Life's been good. Life's been good. Keeping busy, staying strong. What can you do? How about you, Phil? How's life?
Life for me has been going great. Like,
super good.
First of all, this
I don't know if you heard, but I did an interview with Asmongold.
year also already was great, right? Like last year, I felt like I had this big comeback, this resurgence, because I had this association with Kino Casino, and new eyes were on me. But then I got out of that earlier this year because I wanted to get back into gaming, and I focused on that all year, and things were already going really well. And then out of nowhere, Asmongold starts talking about me on the streams, like on the regular. You know, he had talked about me on and off
from the
for a
rafters.
bit, but all of a sudden he started to really focus on me as a topic, and I reached out to him, and he actually.
And these people couldn't even be bothered to watch the fucking segment before, too, so that we don't have to go over the same topics, you know? I feel like that's at least a courtesy that they could have done, to not waste the audience's time on the exact same fucking topics. But if they would have done that, DSP would have had nothing to talk about, because all he has going on in his life is the fact that Asmongold talked to him a month ago, which is incredibly sad to say out loud, by the way. Imagine still talking about somebody that gave you the time of day 1 month ago and never again. And then also, the other thing that he has to talk about is his stupid fucking setup, which was only a result of somebody talking to him a month ago.
Gave me a chance to talk with him as an interview rather than just, you know, responding back and forth on two guys' streams, which, let's face it, everyone's going to watch Asmongold. No one's going to watch DSP's response, right? So
No.
It was
Especially
so...
when they can't find your channel because it's buried under 15 other people who have like the you know, DSP fails or whatever channels, right?
Exactly.
Right,
It's just-
because they're more popular, because they're more entertaining, and they get more clicks, and they get more viewer retention. But we're going to completely disregard that and just act as though there was nothing that DSP could do on his own end.
Impossible
of course.
to even be found on YouTube at this point. And so to have someone give me, I'm going to lower my mic actually, so it's a little bit in line with yours. There we go. So to have someone who gives me that opportunity to be heard and have an honest conversation, I mean, at this point, I had over 9,000 new subscribers. Not all of them stuck around. You know what
Over
I mean?
9,000?
Over 9. Yeah, I was over
It's over
9,000.
9,000!
Exactly.
This really, Gayhole belongs here. That's a level 1 joke for the level 1 pre-stream here. He's not funny. It's not original. It's tired. It's tiresome. Just, I hate it. And I've audibly groaned when I heard this live. And I'm not going to reenact it now because that would be disingenuous, of course. But fuck, man.
And
it's just not
the
funny.
Views are up. Are they exponentially up? No, but they're up. And you know, when you have a new
Welcome,
crowd
Moon
that's
and
coming to
Star.
hang out
I have
and they
prepared a
just
place
want to
for
enjoy
you.
the things you like, it's not
Yo, thank you, Acheron, for becoming a member of the 60 Skulls. I really appreciate it. Big Ops, brother. Thank you, thank you.
drama. It's not the Kino Casino crowd who are coming by to see you fill to RTU today or do some other stupid shit. Instead, it's people who like gaming, people who just want to hang out and have a good time. That's just a better situation. And it has been such a great month of getting reinvested in games, playing new games. Like I started playing Arc Raiders.
When were we not invested in gaming? DSP has played video games just about every single day for the past 18 fucking years. When have we never been invested in gaming? He keeps saying this as though the limited amount of drama that he did, you know, a couple of times a month or whatever the fuck last year really had some sort of giant impact on the amount of games he was playing. I never saw that. He barely did any drama whatsoever. It was actually remarkable how little drama he managed to do. Like he wouldn't commit to it in any capacity. And the whole time that he did it, he even was like, I don't really want to commit to this. You know, my real viewers don't want to see this. They're telling me this all the time. Like, am I living in a different world?
Playing Mega Bonk, you know, games that I never would have played. I got to start replaying Expedition 33, a game that I loved, and I couldn't get an audience for it. And now I've got people coming by to enjoy it. It is such a different experience to have that audience that's in line with you. And I love it.
Also, for everybody that loves Expedition 33, you're in for it, because I just heard the guy on Wednesday, the pre-Christmas or the Christmas Eve style gameplay session he did of Call of Duty, say that he intended on playing Expedition 33 well into January. So you're gonna get your fucking fixins, and everybody else is gonna suffer, because that gameplay is terrible, and he has nothing to fucking say at all.
So yeah,
That's
for
awesome,
me,
man.
This month has been absolutely wild, and just
Power
the fact.
positivity, Phil. It's power positive thinking and positive energy. You put out what you get. You get out what you put out, and that's what happened. You know.
Oh, DSP's putting
drop
out all
drop the
right.
negativity out of your life. Things start looking better. People start being nicer. That's what you like to hear, man. That's awesome.
And that's the thing, like that's what I've been trying to focus on for a while, but I keep getting pulled into this toxic vortex of people who want to bring me back down into that crap because they benefit from it, right? Like
Well, DSP, I want to remind everybody, even though he doesn't act like it, DSP is a grown adult that nobody can make do anything that he doesn't want to do. No one can force his hand to respond. Nobody is holding him at gunpoint or anything in order to respond to the trolls in his chat or make response videos to people like Asmon Gold or talk about RTU during his Christmas stream. Nobody can force him to do that. So I hate this victim mentality of being sucked back into the vortex or whatever. It's not possible. It's not true. It's all done willingly on his own behalf. He's just playing bitch.
Face it, there's these content farmers, and all they want to do is make a new clip, make a new segment about talking junk about me or anything related to me. It's like, I know, I'm done with that. I don't benefit from that. My audience doesn't like that. They want to chill. They want to enjoy games. They're in like mind with me. They don't want the drama. Like, did I get a temporary bump from the Kino Casino Association? I did. It lasted
And he made a
3
bunch
months.
of money. And he made so much money, he's never made more money on one event in his entire life. One could arguably say that the Kino bump was the most positive thing that has ever happened to him. Because you know the only way he like measures positivity is via support and money into his bank account. So any retcon saying otherwise is exactly that, a retcon.
And after 3 months, they were all gone, and all they wanted was toxic crap. I don't do toxic crap. So what, you know, it was like a very short-term thing. Now I have people who are coming by who are regulars in my chat who are enjoying the games that I'm playing. I'm like, this is going to be such a better, more organic thing because I appeal to someone who's a gamer like me, you know? And so fingers crossed, because, you know, success is fleeting. But the last month,
well, I was going to say, if your numbers are up this year, from what I heard, people's numbers on YouTube have been like way down across the board. Like with the whole viewership change thing that happened earlier this year, like to be up in a time when everyone else is down, it's not bad. Even if you're not up a ton, that's great, actually, good progress, because I think this.
He's only up because of one interaction. We're really blowing smoke up DSP's ass. We're giving him the Glaze 9000 over here for something that he arguably had almost nothing to do with whatsoever. It is quite literally from bumping shoulders with somebody that is infinitely more, famous and more well received than the guy.
Summer, like, I mean, I don't do much.
And they're gone, by the way. There is no more bump to be had. Like, we're back to doing what we've always been doing, which is relying on a few people to come by and slide us an exorbitant amount of money on a daily basis to save the stream. We're just back to doing that again. We're back to begging, despite what he loves to say about not being a carnival barker or whatever the fuck. We're back. Welcome home, as they like to say.
YouTube much anymore, but I all the people that I watch who do stuff, all their viewership just tanked this year, and it was horrible because I think they changed stuff with people who have ad blockers or whatever.
That's right.
Right,
so
which has no effect on DSP whatsoever.
I mean, you can't complain about that. Especially right now, this time of year, you know, it's good to see. I will say that Asmongold interview was excellent. It was very entertaining, and you guys both had really good rapport with each other. And I appreciate Asmongold being very straight with you. There was no bullshit. He definitely pushed hard on some stuff, but
he didn't actually push at all. I would say out of all of the Asmongold clips I've ever seen, which I've seen a few while scrolling through Twitter or whatever. Dealing with DSP is not only the softest he's ever been, but also the least interested and least passionate I've ever seen him speak on a topic, ever. He's far more interested in the nonsense, intricacies of how people behave on Twitch and TwitchCon or some weird political thing than he is with dealing with DSP. It's like he didn't care at all and just wanted to be done and over with it. So, again, you can see Gayhole just giving him the absolute slurping of a lifetime over here, as though the Asmongold interview wasn't one of the worst pieces of content that DSP has arguably ever done. It's really right up there with Keemstar. The only difference being that the arc that followed was far more interesting.
There's no BS, which you get. I don't the drama content farmers. Maybe this is just me, but like. As someone who like has been involved in the sector and doing shit like that for a long time, I get very fed up with it because at some point you're just trying to like extract whatever is left when there's nothing to like make fun of, right? Like people can make fun of you, people make fun of me online, people make fun of whoever, that's fine, but like just trying to, oh my god, oh, Phil farted today, breaking news, DSP took a fart. It's like it's like nothing. It's like, what are we doing here? When there's actual drama to make fun of, that's one thing, but it's like this.
Well, then that's the great thing about DSP is there kind of always is something to make fun of. There kind of always is drama to be had. Now, I will, I guess I got to give Gayhole the credit here. I'm also not a DSP farted enjoyer. That's not necessarily the content that I'm interested in. I don't think that that's the highlight of my day when it happens. But I do think that it's a bit uncouth and really just adds to the disgusting gross character that is DSP, that he can't even shit his pants in a way that it's like undetectable on stream, which really isn't hard. There's a lot that you can do in order to fix that, and he just doesn't. So maybe that's why it's more interesting. But even then, like I gotta, you draw the line somewhere, and DSP farting is not for me. I'll tell you that for free.
They're so addicted to the drama spin and like the content farm out of it that they have to make every little thing, even things that shouldn't be like an important or noteworthy thing, into like a whole it's such a big deal. It's like, fuck, man, just take a step back, you know?
Yeah, it was funny. My wife and I don't follow it at all. We purposefully stay away from any of this shit that's said about.
I would hope so.
I want to be involved?
Dude, if your wife follows your detractors and is watching detractor content, you gotta get out of there, DSP. That place is toxic. If your wife is one of your biggest haters, you've got problems that go beyond the internet. Like that's an issue. I felt like that went without saying, but the fact that he is, and the segment that this is going to lead to, it's crazy.
Right? Like I can't. If I addressed it or even paid attention to it, that would be everything I do, because there's so many of these people now doing this crap that I would just have no time to do my own positive content. But it was funny because my wife, it was a week or two ago. I want to say it was like 2 weeks ago. She says to me, she was watching YouTube videos, and just on a whim, something pops up in her feed, because every once in a while she gets a video about me from one of my detractors. I mean, how can avoid it, right? If you've ever watched a DSP video, you're going to get detractor videos in your feed.
How can avoid it, you guys? How can avoid it? Well, not watching DSP content at all is arguably how you would avoid it. If you watch DSP content, you're going to get DSP detractor content, because again, it's far more interesting. It gets far more clicks. People watch it for far longer than the actual DSP content itself. It's just inevitable. You just don't watch, and I don't know why she would. If she wanted to watch DSP content, she could just sit in the fucking hallway. I think it's very strange if she's tuning into a DSP stream at all.
She goes, I just got this in my feed. I had to show it to you. She goes, there's no way this is true. She shows me this video. I don't even know who it was from. So it's like an AI image of me like drowning in water. And it says, DSP has a $16 Pokemon stream and rage quits the game.
That is a Duty Streams video. So yes, Fat Cat does in fact watch, or at least is recommended Duty Streams videos in her algorithm. That is where her current YouTube algorithm sits.
And exactly. I'm like, what? What? Huh?
Huh?
And the
What? I like that he said that he doesn't know who it was or whatever. He just doesn't want to give anybody the time of day. You know, he doesn't want to give them the shout out. But
it has like 10,000 views or something crazy like that. And I'm like, wait, what? What? I haven't had a $16 stream ever in the history of me streaming. I've never only made $16.
now I would love if somebody could go back and find out if this is true, because I do remember that there was streams where he had the zero tip or the zero tip Mario stream or whatever. And I know that on that Pokemon stream, he did only receive like $16 during the gameplay. And he's going to cope, of course, and say that that's not the case. What about the pre-stream? What about the DSP tries it? Which is obviously moving the goalpost on the stated title or whatever. But I just still think that it's insane that his wife is getting recommended this video and she's showing it to her husband, who is the subject of the video. Like, if anybody ever made an Atlas Sucks video, I pray to God my wife doesn't bring it up to me and this can't be true, right? I have to show you this. Like, don't do that. That seems very... I'm going to use the word peculiar again. It seems very like a very strange thing to do. Almost as if she's inquiring that this isn't true. Like, she's concerned that he only had a $16 Pokemon stream.
The Pokemon streams particularly have done well. Like, they're like, because again, just like you just said, they nitpick, and what they do is they try to create a scenario.
Yeah, it's like she's asking DSP if he is actually broke. That is what it seems like. Like, she's looking for confirmation that this is not the case, and she can in fact get Uber Eats, as you know, our DoorDash friendship has ended recently. Thank you, 1 Minute Man rides once more for the $1. I appreciate it. Big ups. I appreciate the dollar, brother.
That if you take so many qualifying characteristics, it's real. So here's the scenario.
Right.
Nothing that happened before I started playing Pokemon, nothing during a break, and nothing after I stopped technically playing Pokemon counts.
Right.
So therefore, any contributions I got on my podcast, they never happened, right? They don't.
Well, it's not that they never happened, but DSP himself breaks it down this way. When he gets into the gameplay, he could have $130 on the board already for the king's tax, as he loves to call it. But he'll be 2-3 hours into gameplay and go, come on, guys, we haven't received any money for the Pokemon stream today. All that money came in during the pre-stream, and ever since I started playing video games, nobody gave me money. That's the way he breaks down his streams. He's the one that specifically advocates for people to give during certain segments to encourage more of those segments. So if they give it all during the pre-stream, or they give it all during the break, or the after segment where he's eating food, he got $20 or $16 or whatever the fuck it is during Pokemon. That's the way he breaks it down. But the second that you play his semantics, that you go by his rules and start titling things or describing them as he would, instantly we're shifting the goalposts again. We're I was going to say it again. We're reframing the semantics and how all the rules that you're supposed to follow in order to be accurate when describing the way that DSP is living. It's just nonsense, bro. It's anything to push this narrative that DSP is doing well and people love him and the money is up, you guys. I swear. People love Pokemon even though they're not giving money during it.
Exist. If I took a break and someone donated during the break, no. After I did DSP tries it and people donated during that doesn't count. It's only direct contributions during Pokemon, and it's so bizarre.
I agree. It is bizarre, but people only talk about it this way because he did it first. These were the games he asked everybody to play in order to paint the narrative accurately. And then as soon as it needs to be moved so that the painting is framed in a better light, he does it. There's no winning with this guy, no matter how you do it. So who gives a fuck?
Because it's like people donated right before Pokemon to name Pokemon for the Pokemon stream, and that's $20.
Yeah.
So how could I not made $16? Like, what are you talking about? Make just insane. They're reaching for straws so badly to have something to talk about at this point. It's ridiculous.
Well, and like, why even do that? Just like say DSP had a horrible Pokemon stream. Watch this. Like that's one thing. Why
Welcome,
did people like bullshit and lie about it? It probably was a good stream. If people like you seeing you play Pokemon, right? It's like it just boggles my mind why they are doing this. But it's clearly
because it looks better in the title. Because when people see $16 on the thumbnail or in the title, they're going to be like, wow, that's an incredibly low amount of money to have received over multiple hours of gameplay. I bet DSP was seething. I got to click on that. It's pretty simple, actually, Gayhole. You just have to think about it for longer than not at all. Thank you, Orphan of Costco, for the 9 months. Saying working at a new salon and don't want to subject the old ladies I work with to the guy. Glad I can catch a live again. Merry Christmas, Skeleton Man. Well, thank you so much for the 9 months. I hope you're enjoying your new salon. I hear some of them are hit or miss, and some of those old ladies can be real mean. So I hope you're having a good time at your new salon. Big ups.
because they get clicks and they get outrage content. There's a monetary motivation, but I think it's beyond that. People are just obsessed with this. And it's not just you, the whole sector.
Right.
The last 5 years of the last 2 years of the sector have been like this, where they just are, all the people with rest in peace, rest in power, King Cobra. I don't know if you know him.
Yes.
But, the stuff.
Yeah, somebody that DSP also hated on for absolutely no reason, simply because they were trying to get DSP to do a meme. And DSP can't do memes and can't be funny. We had to have a negative take about King Cobra all the way up until he died, in which case we didn't know anything about it, and we're going to move on positively. Sound good?
With him, they would do just like the littlest things. The thing is, Josh was a crazy guy, and he was a super crazy personality, that guy. And he did a lot of insane stuff. Like, to compare you to him is insane. But the same thing with him. They'll make
Cobra was funny and interesting.
The smallest thing he did when there's so much actual you can make videos about, but not this. And it's like, why? And it's everyone is doing that. It's just, I think it's just they see the success of stuff like LolCow Live and something. We just want to be that. We want to be the LolCow. We want to be the content streamers. And
I don't know anybody who actually has a positive opinion about LolCow Live. I know they make a bunch of money. Obviously, people watch them. I just don't know who these people are. I don't know where they come from. I don't know what other types of content they could even enjoy. I don't know anybody that watches LolCows just in general, whether they be DSP or Amber Lynn or King Cobra who passed, or fucking Cyrax. I don't know anybody who enjoys any of those LolCows and then goes on to watch LolCow Live on any regular basis or even at all ever. So I'm not sure who's trying to emulate that.
Well,
but
sometimes
sure.
you have a slow week. Maybe if you have, and the one thing you'll say with Ralph, and I respect Ralph because he's also a sector guy. He's a content streamer. But the one thing with Ralph, he always has the news to go back to. He's always been a politics guy. If he wants, he can go back to news. He can make content out of that, right? Whereas most of the other guys, they don't have any of actual substance to return to. It's just drama, right?
Right.
And if you've got nothing to cover, if there's no drama, you have to manufacture it to make it up out of wholesale. Oh, here, I've conjured I'm going to put a curse on Phil, and shit like that, right? Stupid. But hey, that's why it's not as popular as it was in 2 or 3 years ago. That's why everything like that is not doing as well, and it's not as fun and engaging to people. Realistically, and it's why I don't.
Where is he drawing? Where is he even drawing this from? People aren't engaged in the LolCow content that isn't LolCow Live. The people are putting hexes on DSP to try and get more engagement. I just don't know where is he getting this information from? I feel like we're still having fun here. I see people still having fun watching ALT or watching a plethora of other detractors and content creators. I'm just, he said it himself, numbers are just inherently down because of ad block or whatever. So I don't know where he could be drawing this from. It sounds like wishful thinking to try and, again, gas up the guy for actually no benefit whatsoever. I don't know what Gayhole thinks he's going to get out of this. DSP doesn't have a positive bump. He's not being paid. He's not going to be, getting a regular guest spot. So I fail to see where his motivation is coming from here. But we're kind of just drawing shit from out of our ass here.
Most of us old heads from the sector dropped out because it got a bit too much. It got a bit too boring.
What? And
Well, to be honest, you used to be part of that group. I know you were. You used to make that kind of content. I mean, honestly.
Thank you. Thank you, Who. That's what you're getting. For the 10, I really appreciate it. Saying you were watching The Dead Rising, This Is How You Don't Play, and the Little Dirk should have ducked reference, caught you off guard, and made you laugh. And have I heard Pooh Shiesty's new song? No, I haven't. I didn't know that Pooh Shiesty was out, to be honest. I heard he was getting out, and then I never followed up on it. Glad the reference could get you to laugh. That is a banger track. If you haven't heard it and you like the rap music, should have ducked is heat. Thank you for the 10. Who? I appreciate it. And Fist of the North Star with the 2, saying the whole interaction is just tragic and sad. It's true. It's true. These are the dents that DSP was able to get on today. These are the only people who had nothing going on enough to even entertain the idea of talking to DSP. So I agree. This is incredibly sad. And it's not all about detractors. Like I said, about half of each conversation was about a different topic. But it's still an awful lot of talk about drama and hatred on it was supposed to be positive and festive style marathon.
Honest question for you. Like,
it's pronounced Koji. Oh, who's Koji? Okay, all right. I get it. Thank you. Who's Koji for the 10? Thank you.
Every day you got to make content. You're trying to make money, right? You're trying to make some extra.
That looks like Iwamoto in disguise. It does, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. What is it like? What could it be like? Like today, it's my job to get on stream.
It's the Snort Star. It's not even the North Star. I really can't read today. My bad. I'm just misrepresenting everybody.
A lot of these people, it's their full-time job. Mm-hmm. What is it like?
Wait, whose full-time job is this? Wait a minute, what?
To be honest, you used to be part of that group. I know you were. You used to make that kind of content. I mean, honest question for you. Like, every day you got to make content. You're trying to make money, right? You're trying to make some extra bucks on the side, or if it's your job, because a lot of these people, it's their full-time job.
Mm-hmm. Well, aside from Tevin, whose full-time job is this? That's a genuine question. I don't know. I don't know any other detractor I'm not looking to dox people's employment or anything. I just don't know of anybody else that does this full-time. If you believe what Duty says, he's retired, doesn't have a full-time job at all. Heaven is genuinely the only person I know that does this every day and makes a full living off of it. I'm just confused.
What is it like? What could it be like? Like today, it's my job to
It's always Tevin's fault.
And watch a bunch of people who I don't like, who I'm going to make fun of, who I'm going to degrade, who a lot of people would be like, these are the people you avoid. You don't want to watch their content because maybe you think they're toxic, or they're mentally deficient people who are doing weird things on stream, right?
Right.
But this is
your
oddities. Job. You have to sit there and force yourself to watch that content for hours in order to put out a video or a stream to monetize it and make a living.
Right.
Mm-hmm. How is that winning? Even if you're big and doing it, you're making big money doing it. Like, how is that a winning thing to brag about and to be like proud of? Look at all the money I made today.
It always goes back to money for him. He doesn't understand that people who are able to monetize and make $1 off of watching lol cows are actually making money off of something that they find entertaining. Now, it's not entertaining in the way that he would, accept as entertaining. He doesn't understand that every lol cow is just a circus show, an oddity that people come to laugh at, and they're just making jokes and people are paying them about the jokes and the commentary about the oddity. I mean, imagine you went to the circus and saw the bearded woman, and every time you made a joke about it, or your friend handed you a nickel or two. An incredibly low amount of money in today's market. Buddy's got to bump it up, but come on. it's really no different. At least I don't think. There's nothing to be proud of. There's nothing to be like. I'm not like nobody is winning here. I mean, you're winning if you make DSP angry. I guess that's pretty funny to get under his skin. That is kind of part of the allure, I guess. But again, he always just views it as some sort of it's always about the big money, big money. Well, how are you winning? How is this a positive experience? Like, you're just being entertained and entertaining other people. I know a lot of people that can't watch DSP in their raw format. They have to watch a restream. They have to watch somebody else's, commentary video, because DSP himself is so boring. He's such a drag. He's so hit and miss on whether or not he's going to be entertaining that they need somebody to comb through it and find the entertaining parts, the lowlights as they call them. I don't know, man.
Yeah, you literally watched a guy who acts like he's retarded or something. You made fun of him, and a bunch of people threw you money. Wow,
It's just a
you
shit
really
post.
helped
It's not that
humanity
deep.
today
I
with your
agree.
content,
No.
right? Like,
Well, it's the lowest gutter. It's the lowest gutter ball of trash you can make. Really, it's like the what's it called, Maury Show, or
Yes, yes. I'm an avid trash television enjoyer. My favorite shows growing up, and this might say more about me. My favorite shows growing up were Maury, were cops. You love a Steve Wilkos, a Jerry Springer. You love to see this trash on television, and to just be in awe at how trashy and disgusting they are as human beings. Absolutely. That is the content. This is trash television in its honestly, in its purest form. The reality is real here. It's not a made-up storyline.
Stuff like that. But the sad thing is, I mean, first of all, I never made money off my content. I just never monetized. I just, it's not what I do. But like, the sad thing is, most of the big, I will say this, the Kino Casino, those guys, they always had a writer's room, who did watch the stuff for them. They didn't actually watch the stuff. They had a bunch of people who watch. So it's not even like the guys on the show talking about it or watching it. They have a bunch of people who watch it for them and then give them the info. You got like fucking Perspic and Squire, those guys. They would sit around and watch the stuff for hours to give them the video. But then they're not. But then the guys who are actually watching it, like, think about how pathetic that is too. To not even be the guy who's going on stream, to like write and like watch the videos for the other person. And
how pathetic is it?
I have prepared a place for you.
Is it? I don't think that's really all that crazy to think that somebody would, parse through this cavalcade. I'm going to keep using that word today, I guess. This just like never-ending influx of nonsense from the internet, parse through it, give you the interesting pieces so that you could make your jokes and you can be entertaining and you can, point out all of the flaws in this, that, or the other. Like, when you're presented with infinite information, with infinite pieces of content that you could look at, yeah, you might need more people to parse through that information. I don't think that's that crazy. If you watch 100 lolcows, and that's an exaggeration, of course, but if you watch 10 different lolcows, to watch all of that content and find the interesting things to present to your audience is going to be, yes, a full-time job, and you might want to push that onto other people to do it. And yes, Len pointing out, they're probably paid. I would hope so. If you're being forced to sit through 12 hours of Cyrax in a week, I would hope someone is paying you to pick through the nonsense garbage that is the boring segments and pick out the good ones. I would hope. Thank you, Schwook Dev, for the 3 months, saying playing Bigio James is only meaningful if you have art. Oh, sorry, playing Big Geo James is only meaningful if you have RGBs and pop-up messages and a microphone that perfectly captures your lip smacks, don't you know? Well, that's true. But also, there's no lip smacking. You guys are full of shit. It's not happening. You've never heard a lip smack on the stream. And if you do, that's some detractor meme that is being added in afterwards. Of course.
And to do it for free a lot of the time, too. Like, to not even get paid for it. Like, it's beyond me. I don't know. When I was back in the day, the old OG sector was was spawned off the Bloodsport stage. So really, you weren't like making videos. You're usually like going on and talking shit to the other person, like debating them and like, doing like the drama was you were creating it by like calling out and going after people, which is how I got into it, how I was doing it for years. So, that's different to me. Then that's what it'd be like, it's not enough to make fun of King Cobra. It's like, I gotta try and, get him on a debate or, whoever it was. I think they would, you know, think about guys like, I can't even think of guys, but like, you know, Catboy, Cammy, those guys.
Ooh.
You get them on streams and you would debate them and you would make fun of them and you would like call them out live and have arguments live. That was more fun. That's to me, because then you're just doing it for entertainment with yourself. But to go back and watch the dredges, it's just never been my thing. But people like it, and that's fine. But I just
Okay, so because he doesn't like it, it's the bottom of the barrel, lowest common denominator style content. Like, we just acknowledge straight up that this is just not something that he finds entertaining. But other people, it's just the DSP logic. Because he doesn't like it and other people do, they're inherently in the wrong and I guess lesser beings for it. These two are fucking made for each other over here. Also, yes, DSP back in bobblehead mode, just nodding his head up and down. He doesn't know who these people are. He isn't familiar with the sector. He doesn't know what a blood sports is. Just not interested. We're just letting him get his lines out so that we can move on to the next one.
I don't know. There's better things you can do with your life, especially as I'm getting older. It's like I'm way too busy.
Yeah, he's saying it's better if you interact with lolcows directly. Yeah, if you get in there and mush your hands around in the shit yourself, you're just obviously that's more fun. Of course, obviously. Stooping down to their level and actually engaging with them on a one-to-one basis is definitely a better use of your time. I totally agree, you guys.
Part of it was definitely in 2020 when lockdown happened. People got really bored and didn't have anything to do. So it made sense.
Oh my god, we're talking about fucking COVID.
I mean,
way.
I'm sitting. People are just sitting around. If they're working remote, and they're just, you know, they usually have something on the screen in the background, so they're watching the stuff anyways. But I don't know about you. I'm so busy in like real life right now. Like I don't have time for any of this.
Oh, I'm so busy in real life, you guys. I'm here.
Streaming...
I'm here 2 days before Christmas, hanging out with Darkside fucking Phil. I'm super busy though. Please believe me.
As a job, like if you want to cover games, like to cover games and stuff right now is actually really busy because there's so much coming out and there's like so much news and stuff going on all the time. It's like, how do you have time for any of this crap anymore? I don't understand it. But I can act all holier than thou, but who cares? Right?
To be honest, I'm just to be blatantly honest, it's the money. It's that there are so many people who are willing to watch and pay for said drama content that I think that it's so tempting. Even if you know the content isn't good, it's tempting to still make it because you know you're going to make dollar signs on it. Like I've even said last year.
Again, he just can't fathom having a good time and being entertained with a chat and just wanting to engage with them and talk about this thing that you have watched throughout the week and do the recap or whatever you want to call this nonsense that we're doing here right now. He just can't even fathom wanting to have a good time on a weekend when you've got, you know, nothing else going on because it's a chill style morning, as I enjoy on my Saturday styles. Just completely foreign to DSP. Everybody does everything for money 100% of the time as far as he is concerned. If there's not a dollar to be made, there's no reason to be doing it. So you must be doing it for money.
When I did the collab commentary on the Review Tech USA documentary by June the King, that made me so much money. It was like, wow, like I can't believe I just made that much money for a 3-hour stream. But at the same time, at the end of the day, is that really the kind of content that I want to leave on the internet as my legacy? Toxic content, insulting someone, degrading someone, tearing things down? Or do you want to be a kind of person that's you're making content that's like almost like timeless? Like for example, at that point everyone
timeless DSP content. All those camcorder Let's Plays are obviously going to be well regarded into the future. We haven't already decided that they look like shit and had a restoration project or anything. They're totally timeless, you guys. Oh, DSP Politics? Actually a timeless piece of content that people will look back on fondly in the future and say, you know what? This guy might have been on to something. He had some good points. Obviously. It's like it's like the best content ever.
Not getting any views anymore. No one cares about that. That was like a moment in time. As opposed to right now, if I do a playthrough of a game, 10 years from now, someone might want to watch a playthrough of that game and actually watch it and feel something positive out of it. You know, to this day, I still get people who come back and are like, dude, I just saw your Heavy Rain playthrough from 2010. It was so funny. It's amazing. I want to go play that game now.
Yo, he's actually biting on the detractor bait every time, huh? Everybody that shows up and says been a fan since Heavy Rain is genuinely getting to DSP and bumping his ego up that much higher. That's just crazy confirmation. Why would he ever pretend that that's true? It's insane. Also, I do believe just this week when he was somebody was talking about the music that he was playing on his stream from the Roland Bridge test. I don't know if you guys know this, but DSP got a setup upgrade recently. But he said that in the future, he expects when, he stops paying for Roland or whatever, that all of the streams are going to be copyright claimed and he's not going to be able to make any money off of them. But then he went on to say himself, but who cares? Because it's probably only pennies at the end of the day, because who is going to care about the, December 22nd, 2025 pre-stream? Who cares about that? So even in his own words, he is still making content that is not timeless and it's not going to be remarkable or memorable in any sort of way in the future, but he just keeps pushing onto the internet. He said himself, I believe it actually was December 22nd that he said this. So just the day before, he acknowledged that at least half of his content, because that's what the pre-stream is, it's half of his content, is not going to be relevant ever again in the history of humanity. And yet he continues to make it. Very cool how we just move the narrative here and there whenever we feel.
That, to me, it is way more meaningful than any of this kind of toxic crap that these people put on the internet. And I guess, I mean, I'm a little older than most people who make that content too. So for me, my mind is wired differently. Like, right.
It's wired not gay, as he said before.
It literally hurts my brain. Like, I feel stupider. I feel like I get a headache watching it. I can't engage with it. I get bored. Like, I can't just sit there and do that all day.
This is so... Anytime somebody starts describing things they don't like and they're like, oh, it gives me a headache, I can't understand it, I get bored, and they come up with 9,000 different ways that it makes them feel, and all of them are negative, but none of them are cohesive, you just know they're talking bullshit nonsense. They're literally just using any negative derogatory that they can come up with to belittle and berate the thing that they're talking about, and it's not actually... is conducive a word of the content that they're actually speaking on, or whatever hobby or whatever it is. It's just fucking bullshit.
So I'll give credit to people who do it if you can, but to me, like, at the end of the day, I want to know that the content I'm putting on the internet is something that someone can watch. It's entertaining. It's
right. Well, then he failed. Right there. Something that people can watch. If you have a hard time watching low quality, low effort content, you're already out. If it has to be entertaining, he's already out. That's not true. He's never really entertaining.
It's positive, and no one got hurt in the making of that content. Right? That's the big thing for me.
Okay, but what about John Howard? And what about? Google, get out of here. What about John? What about Howard? What about Respect the Pact? What about I guess PPP? Fucking what about Leanna? Remember when we made the Leanna hospital story? I remember. Was she not hurt in that in some sort of way? Does that not count? Are we disqualifying that? Like, I'm just not sure where the lines are being drawn here. What about all of the people that we made fun of and derided in the chat? All of the whales we lost over the years because we were, we wanted to be disrespectful to them and they inevitably left. It's just, I'm coping hard with DSP's legacy. It's true. I'm just trying to follow the lines and where they go. And they're so convoluted and everywhere. I just have a tough time. I like a story told A to B. And the guy's given us a million jumping off points in between, and I'm just not sure where I'm supposed to be going, What about the game devs? That as well. What about the companies that he's worked with over time, like fucking Respawn Seats or whatever, that received an indefinite amount of hate from DSP haters, or the game devs that even recently with Tainted fucking Grail that are bombarded by even being associated with DSP, and yet he's going to continue to play their game and talk about it? It just doesn't really, it doesn't work out.
Yeah, and I think...
Yes, I am out here with the Pepe Sylvia map. I'm trying to make it make sense, and it's just everywhere I go. It's DSP. He's positive. Everyone loves him. The detractors are crazy. Everywhere I go, it's fucking Pepe Sylvia.
That's a lot. The thing a lot of people miss is like, well, I'm popular. Look at all the money I'm making. Look at all the people you hurt today. Like, was it worth it to hurt other people, to step on them to get ahead? Some people just don't have morals and a conscience, I guess, and they can live with it. I'm just not that kind of guy. I'm just so happy that things have turned in a really positive way for me this year, where I am so far removed from that content. that now I'm doing super well. Every single piece of content I put my toe into now is doing
I
well.
like that somebody is in DSP's chat talking about Nick Fuentes. We're letting this slide. DSP, pay attention more. You know what's going on in your chat?
Like every kinds of games, podcasting, interviews, everything's going good. So I don't have a complaint in the world, you know, and that's awesome. How are you doing?
We actually have another one here. That was the end of the clip anyway. We actually have another one right here from Nitri saying Phil used to have a political show, so Nick would be a perfect guest. Yeah, I agree, DSP. Have on Nick Fuentes. I think that'll do great for your brand. I think everyone would love a good Nick Fuentes segment.
Turn the lights back on.
DSP show. Anyway, here is a plethora of cut together clips of DSP talking about Asmongold, surprise, surprise, and Detractors, which again, surprise, surprise. Same day, same stream, just much later into the day. We've come back full circle. We couldn't leave these topics behind. After the gaming was said and done, it was time to go back to what we really enjoy.
We'll see. See what's going on here. Thanks everyone for chilling with me here this lovely Christmas Eve here on DSP Gaming. I hope that you're all enjoying the Christmas marathon as we continue on.
Okay. What a great segment,
Okay.
DSP. Thanks.
So here's what I'm going to say. A couple things. Number one, let's get the lights on. Number two, let's vote on another game.
Turn off these lights.
And number three, I got a question for everyone, but maybe I could check for myself. Hold on. I'll check for myself in a second here.
All right. Now this is great content.
Hey,
Turning all the lights on. You guys love this. You enjoy this.
Come on.
Oh, we got to turn on the
there we
Devoom
go.
Pixu.
Being a pain.
We have to use all 1,000 controllers that we currently keep on our desk. We have to make sure all the fucking frequencies are going. We got to turn it up about 10 degrees in this room.
Hat.
Oh yeah, we got to put the hat back on to cover our bald spot. Hang on.
So I would not be smoking today, along with my drinks or anything like that. Okay, so let's do some polls again.
Oh, we're doing polls. Hell yeah. You love a good poll.
So let's see. There's 4 games left. So we could actually do a poll for all of them and see what you guys want to do next.
Riveting fucking content. Holy shit, dude. Say anything. Anything at all. I mean, I guess positive note, he's not reading while he's typing, old man style. That's pretty cool. I just wish he would talk about something else while he's typing instead. There's a lot of typing to go on. He's setting up polls to play video games here.
Too. Interesting games. I think that the Half Sword game has potential, but man, they've got to make that way better. Like the controls are a little wonky.
They're supposed to be.
And the fact that they kind of conflict with the camera is a little annoying. But I think they're onto something. I think that could be an entertaining game in the long run if they do improve it before it comes out.
As far as I know, now I've never played Half Sword, but I had a friend showing me in a Discord call one time. I'm pretty sure that the controls are supposed to be a little obtuse, and I'm pretty sure that they are supposed to conflict with the camera angle because of how hard you swing the camera is like how hard you hit. It's one of those style of combat games. But of course, DSP is just not really built for that. He doesn't really understand the momentum of, the camera swing. It's not... He's a console gamer at heart, folks. If it's not yellow paint and walking in a straight line, he's really not ready for it.
Okay, so you guys go ahead. And in the meantime, I just want to check on something quick.
Oh, we got to check more DMs, praying and hoping that somebody will show up. Please, Asmongold, respond. I need you. Make my content entertaining.
Okay.
Yep, nope. Still getting ghosted. Still no DMs. Holy shit, dude. Come on. All right. Okay.
Excuse
Now
me.
this is premium Christmas marathon fucking streaming here. This is the content you come to see.
So for the record, I guess I can talk about this now because I doubt it's going to happen. I reached out to quite a few different people to be guests on the show today, rather than it just being all gameplay the entire.
Invisible Mute is asking how much was the take on the marathon. The most I saw in these clips was like 657 or something. So he made out like a bandit, as he always does, multiple hundreds of dollars. It is what it is. You know how these go. The dents are going to be tapped out till I guess the 1st of next month when their SSI comes back through. So not too much longer. But
Entire day. I actually wanted this to be a very different kind of marathon, which I think it has been. Having 2 guests already has been very, very fun. I had a great time having both Ethan, Ralph, and Gahul on the show. I actually reached out to some people from my past who maybe might be interested in coming and talking about the old days and stuff. But sadly, not really. One of them ended up being very sick and having a bad cold, and a few of the others were just too busy. I was like, oh, that sucks. That would have been really cool to have someone from like the old days of like, you know, fighting games and stuff like that maybe come on.
And I think that was either Arturo or who is that other guy he was playing Marvel with? I want to say it was Chris G, but I might be slandering somebody that might not exist at all. Those are the 2 people that he maybe could have reached out to have been on his stream. Not quite sure.
So it didn't work out in that regard. I did reach out to Asmongold, and I actually said, hey, you know, I don't know what you're doing this day, but if you're interested, would you want to come on and just hang out for like half an hour, just talk, you know, catch up? And he actually responded and said, yeah, I'd be interested, but I would only be able to do it like later at night. And I said, well, I'll be on for a long time. Like, I'll be on all day.
Oh, Chris G was Street Fighter 6. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to slander whoever that was.
If you know, he was around and wanted to do it, but I just checked and it looks like he went offline like way earlier in the day. Like it says he went offline around like 4 or 5 p.m. my time. So I don't know why he would have said, yeah, I could do it later in the day if he's offline. So
well, it's almost like you're completely unremarkable.
But
it's almost like you're not important. Like agreements that are made with you are completely flippant and don't matter to people. Weird, huh?
He didn't, like I said, I talked to him like 2 days ago, and he was interested. He actually was like, yeah, maybe we could do it later in the day. And I said, all right, I'll have everything open during the day, and I'm willing to do whatever. You just hit me up or whatever. And I
do whatever you want, Asmongold. I don't need a schedule today. If you're gonna come through and give me a million eyes and a big old bump again, I'll do anything you want.
That he's been offline for like 3 hours. So I guess he hasn't streamed since like the early afternoon for him. But wait, let me think about this. He's 3 hours ahead, isn't he?
Yo, we're doing the fucking math of the time zone that Asmongold stays in. Are we for real right now? That's how like that's how dedicated we are to getting Asmongold on the stream. We're actually doing the math on when he could have maybe have come on and when he got off.
Or
Come
2
on,
hours
man.
ahead. I think he's 2 hours ahead of me. And he said that he would do it later on, like in the evening. So I don't know. Yeah. But I mean, he's not online. If he was online, I was going to say, hey, anyone want to head over there and see if he's interested in coming on? But he's not.
Oh my God, we were going to send people to bombard his chat and start pestering him live? Has DSP learned nothing from doing that to Wings of Redemption? Has he not heard a million people screaming from the hilltops that this is the exact same behavior he berated Keemstar for and held a grudge for years over? God damn it, dude. He's so frustrating to listen to because everything is the exact opposite of what he says.
Streaming right now. There's still the possibility of 2 more people, but I'm waiting to see if they contact me. One of them I spoke with earlier today, and they said that it would be a maybe dependent on how their day goes, and they would get back to me. So I'm just waiting. to hear back. If I hear back, great. If I don't, I guess that's it, you know?
Okay, sounds
Is he
good to me,
Central
dude.
Time? Yeah, I don't know what he is. So,
Oh,
Fed Rogers says, wasn't that the
we
original?
were doing a time conversion audit, and we didn't even actually know what time zone he stayed in. We were just making shit up. we were gonna hold somebody to a time zone they might not even be living in because we're that focused on getting them on the stream. That's insane.
Idea of the Level 1 podcast, DSP asks it. I don't remember exactly what I was going to call it, but if you remember, I had an idea of a show where it was supposed to be an interview show, and I wanted to get people from all different walks of life, and it was going to be me interviewing them about various topics, right? Like that was the original idea I had like 2 years ago that I wanted to implement, and it just never came to be. We did do the DSP versus the Internet React show. That came to be. And then we did do the DSP Throwbacks channel. That came to be.
But we kind of did do DSP Asks It, didn't we? Didn't we have multiple people on for interviews? We had Keemstar on, we had June the King on, we had Ptolemeo on. What does that not count? Are we retconning that? We're memory holing that away because it didn't go anywhere. We don't want to remember that we failed. Is that?
But we never went through with the other idea, mostly because, again, it's not that I don't want to branch out. It's that people are afraid of my detractors. And it sucks because, like to be honest, I'm immune to my detractors at this point.
Are they afraid of the detractors, or are they afraid of being associated with you and what comes with that because they understand that you get flack for other people's behavior, which is what we talked about earlier? And now I wouldn't necessarily say that's fear of the detractors. That's a fear of proximity to a toxic individual, you know?
Like, they just don't affect me anymore.
Maybe they're one and the same if you're dented. I don't know.
Zero impact on my life. I just ignore it and I move on my merry way. But other people who aren't used to having that level of attention given to them, doxing, online account harassment, etc., they can be shocked by it. All right. To be honest with you,
how could they be shocked by it? Do these people not stay on the internet? Do they not know how these things go? I mean, I feel like if you're on the internet and you're collabing with other people, you would have heard about trolling, about some nefarious, doxing or trolling going on in real life. You would have heard of the Kiwi farms. Like, it's just the way that it has to be and has always basically been. To act as though people are completely ignorant to these things, I think is a bit much. I think that's not giving them the credit that they probably deserve in the intelligence department. Also, I want to point out, this is possibly one of the ugliest shirts this motherfucker has ever worn in his entire life, and it is really accentuating his chest here in a not very flattering way.
I honestly think there's a few people who today I could have had on this show who would have been nice guests and interviews for this Christmas marathon, and the one reason they didn't want to do it is because they were afraid if they did, then they get negative attention from these crazy people on the internet. And I can't fault them for it, nor do I ever have hard feelings towards them because of it. Same thing where previously I had people lined up to be like guests on the Level 1 podcast last year, and they backed out for the same reason. And it's like, at this point, it has nothing to do with me anymore. Like, I'm not the problem. People have seen that I'm
not the problem. It has nothing to do with me or my behavior or the things that I say or the ways that I act towards other individuals or the way that I talk shit on everybody or the way that I lash out at my own audience and the way that I prioritize money over everything else. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's purely my detractors who have no content to base any of this off of and are just making everything up despite every single piece of their content, including unedited clips of me doing all of these things. It's bullshit, dude. I did nothing wrong.
Fun interviewer. I'm a good person to have interaction with in one of these podcast settings. I'm not the problem. The problem is the nut jobs on the internet, the hate mob of idiots who are autistic, hyper-focused losers.
That's you. That's you. That's not me.
Hyper-focusing on, hey, Phil's a loud cow. Phil's a loud cow. Well, I'm not anymore.
You
I'm
are,
not
though.
doing the stuff that you want. The stuff.
He just said that he was the other day with Asmongold. Like, we're, again, just retconning shit we just fucking said in our biggest piece of content ever that is totally super positive. Like, my God.
He used to make fun of me for it doesn't exist. You make it up because you're idiots, because you've latched onto this online parasocial existence where you all are this weird mess of a community that relies on making fun of me. But you can't make fun of me anymore because I'm not doing the stuff that you can make fun of. So instead you lie or you make it up, or, oh, someone supported Phil today, I'll go dox them and harass them. What does that have to do with me? Nothing.
Well, it has more to do with you than you think. It's not, I don't think that it's purely coincidence that every person that gives DSP a large sum of money on a regular basis or is a long-term supporter, I don't think that it's coincidence that they're always a particular style of individual who has some sort of weird fetish or kink that is just generally unacceptable by any societal standards, or that they're giving you money while on dialysis and has this like weird obsession with you playing one game or another, so much so that it's at the detriment of their own life, literally making them homeless. Like, I don't think that it's coincidence that these are the type of people the DSP attracts. And I don't think that drawing, eyes to that being a thing is necessarily a negative, especially if this information is made public by them. I mean, you can't be held accountable for information they made public, can you?
But sadly, it means that I just can't really do certain things that I would love to do. I would love to have a chill show where I can have guests on and we can talk about topics and just hang out and have a good time and talk about what they're working on and give them some promotion. How can I do that?
Yes, yes, getting promotion from the guy, which has always helped everybody, obviously. Even though, again, there's never been anybody who's ever come out the victor when dealing with DSP. Nobody ever comes off with a positive bump. They actually just get shelled into oblivion.
Every time that I talk to someone, all their shit gets tossed on Kiwi Farms. And they end up in 10 detractor defamation videos that have nothing to do with reality. That's not me. So, that is what it is. But I would love to do a show like that. And I'd love to do it as early as next year. Like, I would legit like to have maybe a rotating list of guests who are hosts to talk about the various topics we could update each other on and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I would love that. But
he wants to have a revolving list of hosts and guests so that they could update each other on what now?
Legit like to have maybe a rotating list of guests who are hosts to talk about the various topics we could update each other on and stuff like that.
So he wants other people to come on to his show and inform him about what's going on in different areas that he doesn't care about. So what? He could bobblehead at them and pretend like he gives a shit and not have any sort of feedback or insight whatsoever? It seems like an incredibly stupid fucking idea of a show anyway. Because again, he doesn't care about anything other than money, holding Hogan's, and feigning interest in video games because that's his biggest grift.
You know what I mean? I would love that. But could it ever be viable? Do you think it would ever be possible?
No.
Because you get to a point where it's like, I would love to branch out and do more content, but it's not me. I'm not the roadblock anymore. At one point I was. At one point I was the guy who was like, no, I'm in my comfort zone. I'm just going to sit here and stream games all day. But I like doing new things now. Like today, I genuinely did not want to do another Christmas marathon that was identical to all the others. I like the fact that it wasn't about fundraising. It wasn't about hitting a goal and taking a shot. And I like that we had guests on. Like, those were 3 big changes.
2 of those had to do with making money, by the way. 2 of the things that he changed about the Christmas marathon was just not asking for money. He could have done that any year up to this year whenever he wanted. Again, full-grown adult can say and do whatever he wants whenever he wants, as he's his own boss. But we're going to act as though this is some sort of newfound freedom that he has that he was completely incapable of before.
That ended up being very fun for me on this marathon.
And really all of them are money. Well, I mean, are the guests really money? Maybe if in the past guests would have asked for money to be on, because I'm sure Ethan, Ralph, and Gayhole were not being paid.
Keep those positive changes going in the right direction, but I don't really know how to do that.
And Lord Chiggle's pointing out in the chat that he expanded his comfort zone and is now comfortable again. Yeah, well, that's what's happening here. He didn't like to do things outside of his normal zone of what he does, and then all of a sudden throughout the year he expanded it so that he could incorporate that into being comfortable again on the Christmas style marathon. You're absolutely right.
When the factor is not me anymore, you know? Like, again, literally, I had people who were interested in coming on today, and I think they backed out because of this risk factor, and I get it. Like, I get that.
No, if they wanted to interact with you on the stream, if they wanted to show up, they would have. Like, everybody does what they want to do at the end of the day. If they didn't show up, it's because they didn't want to. Flat out. That's it.
But that's not something I control, you see?
Yeah, because if DSP could control it, he'd make them go against their will, obviously.
That would be cool, too. Dunsfelter says, what about a panel of guests, 2 or 3 at once instead of 1? We could do that, right? All you got to do is you invite them to the call, the group call on Discord. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Please keep in mind that every single time that DSP invited Gayhole or Ethan Ralph onto the stream, there was actually a 20-minute fucking break so that he could invite them to the call. And I really think that's all he did in the 20 minutes was invite them to the call, because you've seen in the Gayhole segment, he was resizing their camera and shit live in front of you. He was testing their volume live in front of you for your feedback. So the 20-minute break is I can't think of anything other than he called them. But we're gonna act as though it's the easiest thing ever, and we're gonna pig-splain it to you like you've never used Discord before.
What and why?
Thank you, Red Bird, for the 5, saying Asmon was able to shame him enough for the aggressive Kino-style begging to stop, pointing at the camera, etc. Now it's respectable sneak begging again. If you call it respectable, sure, I suppose. But you're right. Asmongold did actually shame him into quieting the begging down, to not make it so obvious. That is what happened. Kind of like LTG made him work on his sexy, so to speak, and start wearing shirts that weren't actually covered in grease and a decade old.
Imagine if it was
DSP only ever improves when people who are arguably more important and more entertaining than him actually tell him information. His audience and detractors giving him sage advice is completely cast aside. It's not important whatsoever.
It was like me and Asmongold and maybe 1 or 2 other creators,
Asmongold,
and we're
of course.
all talking about the state of the games industry, right?
Also, putting Asmongold on the panel with you and 2 other creators, at least to me, indicates that DSP would want those other 2 creators obviously to be of a similar status to Asmongold, or like in that kind of frame, that circle, of course, which is only going to benefit DSP. Nobody else will ever benefit from this show existing or from being on a panel with DSP, except for DSP.
How the AAA studios are failing and the mistakes they're making, and why? What are the smaller range or smaller style games we've all been playing and enjoying that are much better than the AAA games? And it could be like an hour discussion. I think that would be an amazing piece of content for the internet.
Yeah, I bet you do,
Everyone
because
would
you're the
enjoy
one that
that.
would benefit.
Could I do that?
No, because you're
Or
not
are people
entertaining.
going to be like, oh,
Because you have no insight. You don't actually know what the common gamer is, because you're a fucking mobile game whale. He's the person who advocates for all of the mechanics that you hate in your favorite games, all of the slop writing that is the most simple level 1 shit and take that you can have. That's for DSP. He's the one who advocates for all of that because he's too stupid to follow a complex story, to engage in in-depth mechanics. I mean, look no further than the way that he played Project Zomboid. Incapable of getting past the tutorial is insane.
we're terrified of being on there because, Phil's Association, we don't want our private lives being thrown up on Kiwi farms, right? It's bullshit.
Bullshit.
It really is
I
bullshit.
agree.
It's I'm tired of this shit. It gets to the point where, no, I've grown, I've matured, I'm done with the past. I'm ready for the future. Look, I'm ready. Everything around me is ready.
Look, I'm ready. And somebody called it a 90s lesbian style getup earlier. And yes, look at me, guys. I have RGBs. I'm ready for the future. Look at this Davoom Pixu for the 9 millionth time. Can't you see how robust and cutting edge my fucking setup is? Come on, I'm ready for the future.
Set is ready. The equipment is ready. I'm ready. Everything is ready. What's holding it back? These fuckheads who have latched onto my ass and won't let go. because they realize this is our gravy train. And the moment that we unlatch from Phil's asshole, now we
Right.
have nothing because no one actually watches us except for when we're talking about Dark Side Phil.
Well, to be fair, I don't make content that isn't Dark Side Phil related because I have other things to do that I don't like to advertise. Thank you, Old Man Jenkins, for the 2, saying, have I played Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines? No, that's one of those, I believe they call them boomer slop games, like Morrowind, dude. Like Deus Ex. I don't play boomer slop. Disregard my Morrowind playthrough immediately, please.
So
I haven't played it.
yeah,
no.
it's pretty fucked up. Dark MB, thanks for another $10. He says, I wish the detractors a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I hope their hearts will grow like the Grinch's next year. They'll be more positive. Well, here's the thing.
What?
In truth, I don't actually believe that the amount of people who actually make that content actually dislike me. They just see it as money. They're seeing a check come in.
There it is again. It's always the money. You're never just allowed to have fun and hang out with the boys anymore. It's always goddamn money with these old heads, I swear. Heaven forbid a boy catch a little bit of motion with the gang. Thank you, Some Gator, for the 5. He thinks he can buy himself a new self. It's like putting glitter on a turd. Yeah, it doesn't matter how much you spray paint your shit gold. It's not actually gold. And that's why he always points to this setup. Look at, guys, I'm ready for the future. I've changed. I mean, look at this PC I purchased. Come on, guys. I'm basically a brand new Phil. It just doesn't work that way. Yes, people used to shit on him for how low quality his videos were in the actual, resolution department, in the amount of frames he was getting, in just looked like ass. But you like you said, you can polish up a turd all you wanted. It's still a turd. He's still not entertaining. Half of the fucking show is still dead air. He still doesn't have anything interesting to say, nor no insights into any topic whatsoever. He has the worst takes known to man because he doesn't go outside and he doesn't know how normal people behave or what they think. He has nothing to offer but new technology, I guess.
People are dumb and like that content and support it because they are dumb. Like, literally, that content is for dumb people. If all you do is sit around and hate on someone, you're dumb.
That's
because
me,
you
I
should
guess.
be focusing on yourself and positivity and growing and doing good things for yourself. If you're wasting all your time hating on someone else, you're actually legit dumb. So all they're doing is they're preying on the stupid. And the stupid don't realize it because they're not self-aware. They're just
And again, he acts as though every detractor, this is all they can do all day long, every day. That watching, and I've said this before, I watch the pre-stream, then I turn the fucking stream off, and I play my own games, and I talk to my own friends, or I work around the house, and I do my chorin, as I love to call it. I have other things to do. I spend time with my wife, okay? Spend time with my family, my cats. He acts as though making fun of him is a full-time 70-hour-a-week job that you have to do and not something that you can tune into while you do other shit and then immediately tune out when you don't want to listen to him anymore.
just like cows chewing their cud all day, and they just keep
shout out
throwing
caves of
attention and
cud.
money at those people. So, it's ridiculous, but that's what I don't think these people are like, oh, I'm going to grow self-consciousness and I'm going to stop making content about Phil. No, the gravy train's too good for them. YouTube allows them to monetize the hate. So because of that, they're never going to stop unless YouTube shuts it down and says we decided not to monetize this bullying content anymore. They will keep doing it no matter what. They'll literally make shit up every single day that doesn't exist. The Phil only made $16 on a Pokemon stream. Literally has never happened ever in my entire streaming history that I've only made $16 on a Pokemon stream and I rage quit. That's literally the title of a video a Detractor put out in the last couple of weeks. That's
I specifically remember a zero tip stream of Mario a couple of years ago. To pretend as though DSP has never had bad gaming streams is just nonsensical. Again, he's shifting the goalpost here. He wants to act as though he doesn't break down every stream into multiple segments and then berate the chat for not paying during some and only paying for others or whatever. But we're just fucking arguing semantics here to fix his narrative because he's dumb and stupid. Thank you, Firestorm Gaming, for the 2. Saying, preying on the stupid has Jade in chat. Pick one. Well, and Jade is arguably one of the main reasons that he even gets money for the fucking Pokemon streams as well. People are donating $20 to name a Pokemon and then giving it to Jade. So who's preying on stupid people here? As far as I know, none of you are literally wheelchair bound with a heavy disability and a gambling addiction. Now, if you are, please don't dox yourself in that capacity. That would be pretty insane of you. But again, as far as I know, that's not the case. DSP can't say that. The DSP knows that a large majority of his viewers are of this variety.
The garbage, the slop that they put out. That's absolutely correct, Emperor Ferbs. But here's the thing. I've already said this. The detractors no longer affect me. You understand that, right? Like, no matter what they say and do, I'm still good. I have enough people who like me, who enjoy the content. They come by, they support it.
Right.
I'm good. The problem now is I want to grow. I want to change. I want to expand. I want to turn into something better and different. And now people are afraid to participate in that because of that. That's
Okay, so then they do affect what you do. They are an active deterrent on what content you can and cannot make, what topics you can and cannot talk about, and the people you can and cannot engage with. We're just talking nonsense. We're literally going in a circle. It's just we're saying one thing and then immediately explaining all of the ways we just lied to you. Very cool.
the difference here. You understand? So that's what pisses me off. That it's not that, oh, now they're holding me back. They're not. I'm good.
And yes, 20-minute detractor rant. But they don't affect me. A 20-minute detractor rant that precedes an additional 20-minute detractor rant with one person, and then like a 10-minute detractor rant with a different person. You see how this isn't really making sense here? How it seems like a large portion of this, again, supposed to be positive marathon was completely filled in with talk about drama and people that don't like us.
I'm on a trajectory, and I'm going to continue the right path, the good path, the path of righteousness and good content.
Yes.
And awesome.
The path of righteousness, of course, as is right and just to DSP. You continue that righteous path.
Positivity moving forward. I'm happy. But I can't do other content that I know would be great. I'm being held back. I don't like that.
Right. Well, it's not for you to like. Val Raven, thank you so much for the 5, saying this is supposed to be a chill Christmas stream, by the way. Very festive. While we did open with Ethan Ralph on this stream, talking about cat UTIs and blood work. So we were kind of doomed from the start. And even I guess that's not even true either, because we actually opened with the gaming schedule for the year, which is possibly even a larger drag than cat UTIs, if you can believe it.
What it really is going to take, it's going to take someone like Asmongold or someone else who's of a large stature to say, we're also immune to this level of bullshit, and we're going to actually branch out with Phil and do stuff with Phil, so that now the common person won't be afraid of this shit anymore. Because to be frank with you,
right.
In the last month, things have been doing well. But at the same time, look how many of the Asmongold viewers aren't around anymore. And a lot of it probably has to do with the detractors.
Right. It couldn't be because he made terrible content that they didn't actually want to watch. In that just the next day after the Asmongold interview, he spent basically the entire pre-stream talking about detractors while they clamored in chat for him to just play the fucking game. That has nothing to do with it. I do love the admission that he is beholden to other content creators bigger than him, more important than him. He's beholden to them.
You honored the 6th house and the tribe unmourned.
He is beholden to them to shine a light on him, to shine his ass so that he can grow and be a better content creator and bigger than he is currently. It's completely out of his own realm of capability. He is absolutely relying on other people. Embarrassing. It's sad. It's pathetic, really. Thank you, Penitent Sin, for the 5 gifted memberships. Again, definitely honoring the house unmourned. Thank you. I appreciate it.
See the negativity, they see the harassment. They're like, well, I don't want to be, sadly, wrapped up in that crap. I like Phil's content. Maybe I'll watch from afar, I'll watch from a distance, but I'm not going to engage. I'm happy for those who have stayed and engaged. That's really nice of them. Who they've stayed, they're liking the content, they're leaving comments, they're supporting it. That's amazing. But at the same time,
That's
you
amazing.
know that these people are not going to be all staying in droves when you see these idiots who just won't leave me alone. There's black clouds circling my head, and I didn't even create it. I'm not doing the things anymore that would even create that content. They just do it anyway because they're getting paid for it.
This is the equivalent, by the way, of a career criminal committing a career of crimes, heinous, unspeakable crimes, and then going into court and being like, all of these fucking cops following me around, making my life a living hell. It's something that I didn't even create. This is completely unexpected, and there's nothing I could do. Well, if you just didn't behave the way that you did, you wouldn't have this happen now, would you? It's kind of a creation of your own making, even if it wasn't directly your making, if that makes any sort of sense. If I can expand upon it a little bit. I think you schwooked up for the 2. Saying Penitent Sin can pick the next Fallout New Vegas character. All right, I'll make sure to email Penitent Sin behind the scenes next time I'm playing Fallout New Vegas, and he'll pick the build. Now, Penitent Sin, be on the lookout for in the next 5 years for when I reinstall Fallout New Vegas. I'll make sure to hit up your email, and I'll let you pick. I'm good for any build, by the way. I've done them all, and I'm ready to play it any way you call it. But I can't give you a time frame. Thank you for the $2 schwooked up. I appreciate it.
Let's see here. There were some kicks that I missed. NBR did 500 kicks. He says, you're a legend. Detractors ride your coattails. I mean, it's been like that for a very long time. I mean, at this point, again, they would not exist without me. They literally are parasocial. They know that if I were deciding to turn off...
That's not parasocial. Is parasitical a word? They're parasites, I believe, is what he's looking for there. But
my camera, I never broadcast again. They would literally disappear overnight. No one would care about. Like, it was actually funny. The last week during that stream when I didn't have internet, I actually got contacted. I talk to people behind the scenes and you guys don't know about it. All right. But I have people I talk to that you would never believe that I talk to, but I do. So this one guy, he actually met
weird flex, by the way. You guys wouldn't believe that I talk to some of these people, but I totally do. I just can't name them because, well, then they would get negative pushback. Yeah, you guys wouldn't believe the Hollywood stars and celebrities that I speak to that I totally can't name or present any evidence of. But it's actually very robust, and I'm incredibly popular, obviously.
Messages me, okay, and he goes, "So your internet's out today. What do you think all your detractors are doing? Do you think they actually went outside and touched grass today? Do you think maybe some of them went out and, like, I don't know, had a human interaction, or maybe went to a sports game, or, you know, what did they do? Because all they do when you stream is they just clip you nonstop. They're literally there watching you every waking moment, and you couldn't stream today because your internet was down. What do you think they did today? Yeah, you're right. I wonder what they did do."
Probably the same thing that they do every day while they watch you, except they turned on a different video. I know that's what I do when DSP's not on. I drive home listening to something else, and then I get home and I start playing video games, and I turn on a different piece of content and listen to it while I play video games and talk to the boys. It's really not that complicated. Again, he thinks that trolls on the internet or people that enjoy this style of content are this like weird third being that just couldn't doesn't know how to exist or behave when he's not online, and it's just not the case. It's very delusional to think that he's so important that people's days are completely and utterly torn asunder by him not hitting the live button. I seen Invisible Mute asking earlier if I know where the detractor scaring away his guests comes from, because I know that creators told him no because they will get negative attention. I think that's literally it. When he was trying to get people on the show, when he was doing his like Ptolemeo era arc or whatever, that kind of time where he was reaching out to people that were unrelated to him to just come on his show, apparently people were responding to him and like, no, I don't want the toxic negativity that comes along with you. We don't want to be doxxed and harassed. And like, ever since one person might have said that to him behind the scenes with no proof, ever since then, that's obviously just something we rely on. You're saying that was Red Cow Arcade? Great guy. Never met him. I don't know who that is, but and I won't show you. If anybody cares, Red Cow Arcade is supposedly this person. Thank you, Some Gator, for the 5. Saying detractors and channels are a responsive force. They are simple and Jesus Christ. They are the simple and easy thing of calling someone out. Well, I agree. And why I always say if DSP just stops uploading content, so do I. I'll go do something else. I've got other hobbies to do. I've got games to beat and play, and it would open up more time to do that. It's really not the end of the world if the guy just goes. Once I'm done responding, I'm done. And it'll be very cool and robust. But we await the day, I promise. They're AVGN detractors, that Red Cow Arcade. Okay. I don't know anything about an AVGN. I wasn't born.
Howdy do. Thank you for $5. And he says, have a good night. If I can't catch your stream tomorrow, Merry Christmas. You too, Scotty do. It's always good to see you as well, man. You guys are awesome. Again, do you see the difference between a stream where it's like, man, we've got to hit goals, so let's do every 100, 150, we do this, we do that. Instead, we just chilled all day. We just had fun.
Yeah,
no
it was
matter what we
very
were doing,
chill.
we had a good time with each other.
How much time did we spend talking about detractors? And yet we were just chilling.
And it worked out very well, did it not? Like, we had a great time. We chilled, enjoyed each other's company. It's good stuff.
Super good stuff.
I love it. And we got a fun chill stream tomorrow, too. I'm just excited for the future. That if this is the future that I've laid out for myself, I'm very, very much looking forward to the future. It's the opposite of what I used to do, where every day coming to the stream was like, can I hit this goal? Can I make some money? Can I pay this bill? Can I do this? It's just so much better, man. I love it.
Yeah, now that the money comes before he asks, it's so much better, you guys. And old man Jenkins at Chessing, bro, it was the same. Yes, the Christmas marathon was essentially just like 3 pre-streams and some dog shit gameplay that happens basically every day. There was the only remarkable thing that happened on the Christmas marathon was we had guests on, which also nobody liked. So
What and why?
it's really not all that different. We just sat around shooting the shit for an incredibly long amount of time. Longer than necessary, I would argue. A Flag Chan with the 10 saying he thinks that anyone who doesn't like him waits around 24/7 for him to stream. I took time off work for Christmas and literally forgot he did a marathon. This is all I've seen of him for 5 whole days. Well, I was the same way, and that's exactly what I was saying. Is I took time off from work. The second that he started the fucking gameplay on Tuesday, I tuned out, and I didn't tune back in until last night when I got home, and I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna stream tomorrow. What's the guy been up to? And it turns out pretty much not a goddamn thing since Tuesday, which is very cool, of course. But yeah, he acts as though he is the thing. He is the thing in detractors' lives that everything is centered around, when it's just not the case. It's wishful thinking on his behalf that he would ever be that important.
You guys are awesome. What is an audacious goal that I would like to hit next year? Oh, man. An audacious goal. How about, okay, because here's the thing. People kept asking me, like, what was my goal for this year? And I said, I want to basically be more successful doing my own content than what I did the collab with Kino Casino. That's already happened.
Penitent Sin with the 5. 1 second. There's going to be another one coming through.
And why?
Penitent Sin with the 5 saying, I'm waiting on that email, Atlas. I'm refreshing my Hotmail. Well, you're going to have to be refreshing your Hotmail for, like I said, probably the next 3 years. Somewhere in there, I will reinstall New Vegas with mods. And like I said, you'll be the first to know. I'll ask you. Yosef with the 5. Wow, look at how much he has changed. He's so great. He is master of his own destiny as the dead bodies, float by his house, by the flood, sipping gin. He really is the king on the hill. It's true. It's true. Master of his own destiny, a professional gamer, loving husband, completely guarded in his snort fort. These were all true statements. Thank you, Yosef. And Siru with the 5 Canadian, big ups. How many fake Canadian dollars to watch the Phil Lip Smack Burnell video by Tina Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, Atlas and all detractors. Well, big up Siru. Another fake $5 Canadian. Hang on, before I agree to this, before I subject everybody to lip smacking videos, how long is this Phil lip smacking Burnell? How long is it? I'm typing. I'm looking it up. This is not dead air. I'm lurking. Oh, it's only 1:50. Yeah, Siru, 5 more Canadian dollars, and I will make everyone suffer through lip smacking Burnell. And I'll do it in between the super robust Christmas style stream or video that everybody is, of course, dying to see.
That's literally already happened. This month, I've done way better than when I was doing anything with Kino Casino. Like, no lie. Just like within a few days of having that interview with Asmund Gold, which was me actively responding to him and doing an awesome interview, right? I already had accomplished that. So basically now it's like, what's the next goal?
I like that his goal for the year was something that he had already accomplished well at the beginning of the year. So we didn't have a goal, I guess, for the majority of it. Very cool. It's nice to always... Damn. All right. Thank you, Siru, for the 5 Canadian. That just says suffer. So we are getting 1.5 minutes worth of lip smacking right after this clip.
Right? What is the next goal?
Swear to God, it'll be played.
Well, let's see. I mean, I'm free of the confines of the financial issues I had. I'm free of any effect of trolling. The trolling doesn't affect me at all anymore. Like, honestly, next year, like I said, what I would
trolling doesn't affect me at all anymore. I swear, you guys, it's super true. Thank you, Who Cares, for the 5, saying, imagine publicly admitting you have nothing to do without internet access while apparently being married. Yeah, that is incredibly sad. I agree. No hobbies, nobody to talk to, just absolutely brain dead without internet access. It really is a sad life. I can't even imagine. Despite being far younger than DSP and also having a bunch of hobbies that require internet access, even I have other things to do that don't require it, but not the guy, obviously. Thank you for the 5. I appreciate it.
This is the truth. I would like to be able to branch out from content that's either just me playing games or talking to an audience, but content where I can cross over with other people, whether that's an interview show, whether that's a podcast where I have guests that are regular guests and we can talk about topics that are related to gaming and news or whatever. Like, that's what I want to do. And I think that that's the future. I think that's the content people want, but that's a hard ask from other people because that means that they have to commit time and effort and potentially be harassed and or stalked. And I understand why a lot of people would be I'm not going to take that chance. You know what I mean?
And just again, we're asking other people to put their neck out there to put up with Phil's shenanigans, his autistic schedule style that they have to, agree to, his inability to effectively communicate in DMs, as well as all of the harassment that you will inevitably receive for even dealing with DSP. Everyone has to put their neck out there for him to expand, to grow, to live a better life. What is the benefit for them? They're going to get the 200 viewer bump from DSP? I don't think so. I just don't see that's, something that anybody would actually risk anything for, especially when...
I'm a god. How can you kill a god? What a grand and intoxicating innocence.
Anybody that would actually give them money that comes from the DSP audience has already tapped fucking dry from the guy. So there's not even a monetary gain to be had. It's just, it doesn't make sense. Thank you, Ascendant Seal, for the $2, saying, take a shot every time he mentions the detractors. You'd be fucking dead. And that goes for basically every DSP stream. If you took a shot every time he mentioned detractors and trolls and drama nonsense, you'd be fucking dead. And thank you, Drooling Idiot, for the 1 gifted. Very cool. I'm sure Lauren appreciates it.
So honestly,
And Invisible Mute is right. Somebody did put their neck out for DSP and try and give him a bump and try and expand his horizons and get him to do different type of content and show him off to a new audience. And PPP was absolutely torn apart for any involvement that he had with the guy, receiving nonstop backlash from his own fans in some instances, people that watched the Kino Casino because they didn't like the way that he was handling that arc, myself included. I quit watching segments of the Kino Casino specifically because they're really fucking over content that I enjoy more in making fun of DSP. They're moving this storyline in a way that I don't particularly enjoy. So thank you, Yosef, for the 5, saying, who the fuck is he talking to about his success and winning against trolls? His inner voices? The corner demons, of course. They're the only ones that we ever really placate to. They're the ones who are always listening.
You know, I really think that the future is bright, but it might be a hard journey, a hard process, a difficult process, not hard process, a difficult process to get to the point where I can actually get to do things, opportunities that other people do on a daily basis. I just don't get those. And it's not because of me anymore. You could argue, okay, in the past it was Phil, because Phil had bad behavior. Phil did these heinous things he said, heinous things, you know, it's just not present anymore. It doesn't exist. The stuff
Absolutely
that they claim,
is.
It's all in the past. So now what's your excuse? Well, we want to profit from Phil.
We're just pretending as though we don't still do any of these things, that we don't still shit talk people, that we still don't, lie on people's names and change situations to paint ourselves in a better light. We don't lash out at our audience anymore, even though it was just a couple of months ago we had an entire explosion about Kick Chat being mean to us or whatever the fuck and taking away, kicks or moral support or whatever the fuck it was. We don't do that anymore, you guys. We've moved past that positively, of course. Big ups One Testicle Man for the 1,000 off, saying, also, I would have to split the money with someone. By the way, Cat is gone. Search your feelings, Bone Man. You know it to be true. I'm trying to channel through the ether. Okay, I'm feeling for the fat cat. I'm not feeling her presence on this earthly realm. So do with that what you will. But I am not getting a presence. You're right, One Testicle Man. I'm feeling it, and I think we might have some sort of evidence to that, maybe potentially in not the next clip, because the next clip is about lip smacking, but the clip after maybe.
Also, we just
Thank you for the 1,000 health.
We got to get to that point where people are going to be like, well, we're going to cut through the lies and not care anymore, and we're going to do good content together. But that could be a tough thing to get to, you know? At this point, I feel like I need to maintain my course, keep doing what I'm doing, not stray, not get stressed out, not get frustrated, and keep trying new things and keep trying to branch out. And you know what I mean? Not give up. But at the same time, it may very well be not in my control. Like the whole Asmongold thing.
ESP's
really,
John
honestly,
Cena
what was the big deal with the Asmongold interview? That he gave me the chance.
It was boring.
Not that I did anything different.
He didn't care.
I'm the same guy on
was
stream every day.
unknowledgeable.
He gave me the chance to be seen in a new light. I need more people to give me that chance.
I need more people who don't care enough to look into me to actually understand the circumstances so they can tell when I'm lying. That's what he's asking for right now. Don't get it twisted. Don't misconstrue what he actually said here. That's what he's asking for. He needs more people who are ignorant to his games so that he can run them on them. That's it. Thank you, NWO News, for the 5, saying long memory for abuse, short memory for accountability. Well, of course, we hold grudges forever. But heaven forbid you remember something he did just last week. That's completely out of the realm of possibility. Get the fuck out of here. Thank you, NWO News, for the 5.
If more than one person does it, then it will become a common thing. And people will actually be like, okay, so it really was bullshit. You know, now we could just work with Phil now. And then what will happen is those idiots who think that they're going to benefit from the crap that they make about me every day, they'll just fade away because no one's going to want to watch their garbage anymore. It's just their common line of misinformation won't be accepted anymore. It's been accepted for over a decade, but now it won't be the common belief anymore. But you need more people like Asmongold to step up, and the question is, who's going to do that? Anyone?
I mean, people will continue to believe what's in front of them when presented with it. It doesn't. This is like an appeal to the populace here, but I'm just not convinced that that's necessarily ideal. There's a lot of people that are really fucking stupid and can believe really fucking stupid things if they don't want to admit the truth, and that's DSP, I guess. But also, some of DSP's most popular content, at least among detractors, is him interacting with other people, other normal style content creators, or even normal people in general, because he is such an alien style individual. He is so foreign in that sphere that it is infinitely entertaining in and of itself. It doesn't really matter what he's saying. His mannerisms are odd. The way he doesn't listen is very jarring. His bobblehead style nature. So it doesn't really matter if he's with the most popular people on the planet and they're sucking his dick left, right, and center. He's always going to be an oddity and an enigma in at least this capacity, and people will make fun of him. So I don't really know where he thinks he's getting off here, where the bashing and the trolling is going to be any less. I don't think that's true whatsoever. Thank you, Schwook Dev, for the 2. Saying, Moist Critical, step it up. DSP needs your support. It's true. He needs a Moist Critical. I think Hassan Piker should really hit up DSP and get him on for the gaming stream. I believe, he advertised Assassin's Creed Shadows totally, and it was very robust. I think they should talk about the modern games industry. I think that would be a very interesting for him and Dog Shocker Piker to talk about.
I think maybe one of the steps would be if Asmongold does do his podcast and has me on as a guest, and I can add to the show as a guest and actually, become a part of like a panel that goes on there from time to time to talk about gaming topics. That could be the first step, but I mean, that's on him, and I'm certainly not going to pressure him to be working on something like that unless he's interested and it's, of any kind of, value to him. So we'll see. We'll have to see. That's what I mean. Like you say, well, what's your big goal for next year? What's the big lofty goal? I don't even think that those goals are in my control anymore.
So he has no goals. DSP is actually moving throughout his life with no ambitions and no goals moving forward. Obviously, a very robust way to live. Now, I'm not, saying that all of your goals have to be career-oriented or money-oriented or however you want to call it. But this is all the guy does. If he doesn't have goals that are within his control now for his stream, then he has no goals, period, because he doesn't do anything else or care about anything else. Well, except maybe pull a 6-star Hogan or whatever. I don't think that's an acceptable goal. I'm going to be honest.
I have gotten to the point where I've grown as much as I can. I'm trying to improve as much as I can. I'm not perfect, but I certainly think that what I'm doing now is working. No goals, no begging, chill content, listening to viewers, having flexibility and
no begging in that list is crazy. Simple guy. The redeem is Cliff Racers from Morrowind. I'm a mushmouth.
Everything that we do at any moment, trying new games, listening to playing the games people want. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're in a situation here where I think I've done enough to prove myself, but now people have to be willing to accept it and not just say, well, the meme is funny. I can't make you not think the meme is funny. Even I think the meme is funny half the time. I see the jokes and everything. I'm like, haha, it's funny.
No. That's not fucking true. Bappa was doing this recently. For those of you that don't know, Brendan Schaub was also pretending as though he also thinks that some of the people making fun of him on their own subreddit is really funny, that all the homeless cats that are working at PF Chang's that are constantly making fun of him are really funny guys, and they've got, some sort of talent for making fun of him, and he gets it. And it's all cope. Anytime that somebody who is constantly lashing out about detractors and trolls on the internet and being made fun of, those people, the second that they start going, oh yeah, I think it's funny, I'm totally with the jokes, it's all nonsense, bro. It's cope. It's them trying to come from a different angle to seem less, I want to use the word petty, but that's not necessarily it. Just less downtrodden than they really are, to make it seem like they're more up, and that's just not the fucking case. It's very clearly cope.
But it's not the truth. It's just a funny meme. But that's actually like stunting my growth. The meme.
Hassan did this with the dog shocking meme. Yes, exactly. They lash out and fucking seethe publicly for an extended period of time, and they ban people and they make it a focal point of the content, only to wrap around later and try and play the other direction. It just doesn't make sense.
Memes stump my growth, you see? So let's see what happens next year. I'm just going to sit here and be me and keep staying the course, doing my thing. Hopefully, we'll have massive success in 2026, just like we did. Like I just told you guys recently, I said it to Asmon. 2025, this was before the Asmon Gold Bump. 2025 is my best
Unironically calling it the Asmon Gold Bump is crazy.
year in like 10 years.
It sounds like
And
such a
that's not
joke.
over-exaggerating. This
Actual
year has
wrestling
been better
speak.
this year than even last year with the Kino Casino bullshit and all that. It's been better than that for me. So if I can maintain, if I can keep that positivity going next year, I feel like the sky's the limit. We just got to get over that one hurdle that it looks like I'm not the one to jump over it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can jump over it, but is everyone jumping over it with me? Or do they stay on the other side and just point and laugh because the meme's funny?
Yeah, heaven forbid anybody have any sense of, you know, of humor whatsoever. Heaven forbid people find things on the internet funny and they're not willing to throw themselves at the feet of DSP so that he could get a boost over that hurdle. Heaven forbid, folks.
I don't know. We'll have to see what happens next year, right?
I guess so. I guess we'll have to see.
Okay. Let's see here.
Okay. That's the end of that clip. Now, I do have one more that I wanted to show you. This very odd video from DSP Space Gaming, actually. A raw style video that he decided to make during Christmas. But we actually can't watch that first because I was paid. I'm contractually obligated by one Siru. Big up Cerulean. A good guy, I think. He paid for this video.
Let's see here.
We're obligated to watch it.
So I got 500 kicks from Dvakin, who says, you are smacking your lips at every sentence. Are you using flavored lip balm? No, I'm not smacking my lips and I'm not using lip balm. I don't know where you guys are coming up with this. I've listened to my own videos back, like the daily rap and stuff.
Loud.
That's not happening. It must be some new Detractor meme. I don't care. So thanks for 500 kicks.
I really didn't expect it to be that loud. I thought it was going to be much more tame. Yo, big ups NW.
Like I literally
News
listened back to my
for the
videos.
two.
I've listened back.
I appreciate it. Saying DSP is the reason microphones should cost $10,000. I agree. Same with gaming PCs. If we kept gaming and kept studio style equipment, people like DSP wouldn't even be able to get into them, and we'd have a better life. I agree. Thank you, NWO News.
My setup video where I was showing you off my new setup here. I listened back to the Daily Rap quite a few times in the last week. It's just not happening. You're literally hearing things. There's no smacking sound going on at all. In fact, look, do I look like I'm smacking my lips? If anything, maybe the one time that I do it is maybe if I take a sip of water like this.
We have to show it, of course.
There you go. See? And
There
then
you
we're
go.
done.
Only one
nice
smack,
try.
you fucking idiot.
Anyway. Okay, folks.
Big ups Tina for the lip. This is from one fucking day. Actually, one singular day. We're doing all of these lip smacks. That's insane work.
Good stuff, right?
Okay, so big ups Tina for the lip smacking video. It was actually much better than I thought it would be. I expected to have a worse time, but very funny and straight to the point. Very, very much proving the guy's lies here. Now to the last clip. Sorry for the pause. I was reading chat. I'm like the guy. For the last clip here, of course, while all of you, and myself included, were having a very robust and meaningful Christmas, DSP was left to his own devices, and I mean that quite literally, oddly enough, in that I don't know if Kat, like I said, is no longer of a mortal coil, if she's out of this earthly realm, and DSP was left completely alone, as he always is, or, and maybe this is the other side of that coin, she was so tired of listening to him while she was actually trying to do things in the kitchen that she sent him away like a petulant child and told him to go play in his room. And so he came up with this video for all of us.
What is going on, everyone? DSP here, and Merry Christmas. I hope that you and yours are having a great holiday. I am as well. In fact, I've had a lot of fun holiday festivities already. Last night, watched a bunch of movies with my wife. This morning, had an amazing breakfast. I'm going to be back on Saturday morning to tell you all about this on the Level 1 podcast.
Now, I'm not quite sure what we're using to record this either. This doesn't seem like phone quality as we received in that one Twitter video from when his internet was out. Is he like holding a webcam or something? We still got quite a bit of sway here. I'm not quite sure why that is.
You might be saying, what the heck is this video? Well, this is kind of weird. Well, yeah, it is weird because I wasn't planning.
Also, what does he have clipped onto his shirt? I'm just now noticing this. I watched this yesterday, and I didn't notice the lapel microphone.
I'm doing this today, but I just so happened to find myself with a little bit of extra time to mess around as my wife is getting ready for the rest of today. And as that's happening, I said, I'm going to try some of my new equipment. So, as you can see, there's a little bit of a different perspective.
Let me turn this down.
Sounds a little different too, doesn't it? This is actually a tech test as much as it is a piece of content for you to watch and enjoy. What I'd like to do briefly is actually show you a first-person perspective walkthrough of what it looks like when I am here streaming every single day. You ready? Let's go. A little bit of a holiday surprise here on DSP Gaming.
And the cat paused the video, perfect timing. It's very odd to me that he would use the lapel microphone, which I didn't even know that he had. But to use the lapel that objectively sounds worse, when his microphone is right there, when he could have just done a voiceover of the room. He could have just taken pictures or a video of the room and talked over it. Kind of like he did the other day live on stream for everybody, which makes this entire video pointless, but we're doing it again anyway.
This is literally what I'm doing, what you see.
Issues always nearby, of course. Never know when you got a bust one.
Here on my channel every day. So this is my new command center. Ultra wide screen monitor, as you can see. That's my microphone that's in my face as I record. And I don't have everything open, obviously. I don't have all the chats and everything. But this is the monitor by which I am monitoring everything. We've got YouTube chat on the right, Kick chat right here, contributions here. I actually have a thing open that monitors emails for PayPal contributions coming in. And then I monitor the actual stream like right here through OBS. And then now here is the stream stats for YouTube. So this is what I'm looking at every single day when I'm streaming. Okay.
Right.
Here's my keyboard.
It's almost like we showed this off the other day, but that was actually more informative because he actually had the windows up at that time where you could see his YouTube dashboard, you could see his money conversion tab that he had open, you could see both chats side by side. This is actually a less informative version of something that he already did. Kind of just begs the question why this was made at all, especially on Christmas fucking Day when he's supposed to be spending all that time with his lovely wife that he cares so much about. Thank you, J-Dog Arcade, for the 59 knock, saying Merry Christmas to us mentally ill weirdos and big ups to Phil's mortal enemy, balanced audio. It's true. His audio has been taking a massive fucking dip lately. Between the Roland Bridgecast actively making it worse than it was previously, and now this gross lapel that he's got going on here, it just gets worse and worse by the week, I swear.
And I tell you about, it has RGBs and everything. Take a look. That's exactly what it looks like kind of every single day when I'm streaming. I have a different theme to what I'm actually doing on that particular day. To my left is my Steam Deck, which I use to, my Stream Deck, which is what I use to control things like recording and scenes and things like that while I am streaming.
You guys ever seen a
This is
stream
my
deck before?
new
Bet you haven't.
Roland Bridgecast,
You're not
which
professional
I'm now
like the
using
guy.
to monitor all of the audio on all of my streams. Pretty darn cool. As you can see to my right, this is my actual gaming setup.
And this the camera is so zoomed in. Again, just objectively more informative photos were taken previously and just shown on screen while he did the walkthrough. The camera is so close up, it's hard to even tell what's really going on.
Up now.
You can't get an actual frame of like where everything is set up because it's so zoomed in.
My MSI OLED monitor, webcam there for face cam right in front of me, the microphone that I use to capture audio when I am talking voice communications in games, another keyboard and mouse. This
Voice communications in game. Heaven forbid we just call it VoIP like a normal person.
is actually the Asus ROG Azoth and the Razer Viper V3 Pro. I used these yesterday playing Call of Duty Black Ops 7, and I had an all-day positive kill-death ratio, which I have never had before since I played the game this year. So obviously something helped with this setup. And then as you can see over here, this is my audio.
And I just, dude, that's so fucking cringe. I don't know any other way to put it, but to pretend as though having the gamer fucking mouse and keyboard combo, the new gamer setup, is actively improving your gameplay when it comes to Call of Duty in a game that objectively has skill-based matchmaking is insane to me. If you can't attribute any sort of improvement in your gameplay to your setup or your actual practice or really anything if the game has skill-based matchmaking, because they are determining whether you win or lose at the end of the day. But of course, DSP is just incapable of processing this information. It's always his own doing, or rather his equipment, because none of the gaming actually comes from him. It's just inherent to the peripherals, I guess. Thank you, Garbage Can, for the 2, saying, look at all my toys. Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, like, Kat sent him to his room to do another, toy video in order to keep him busy while she finished dinner because she was tired of hearing from him. Tired of him loitering around in the kitchen, being in the way and just being a nuisance. Thank you, NWO News, for the 5, saying, this is just a look at my stuff, you stupid detractors. See, I'm clearly successful segment. I'm going to laugh when that room has its own pig roast. Well, it is a fucking fire hazard. That is true. Maybe one day.
Which are
That's what some would
actually
say.
into the Bridgecast, giving me surround sound. And this is the Razer Wolverine 8K Pro, which I believe is the really high-end game controller that I've been
really
using playing
high-end game
everything recently,
controller,
and I
guys.
absolutely love it.
High-end, of course, meaning that it cost him Jesus, I'm really struggling there. Quite a bit of money. It cost him more money than you should be spending on a controller, if I'm being honest with you. $200 for this glorified Xbox controller here. But it's very high-end, you guys.
So this is my perspective when I'm streaming. I am surrounded by technology, which is pretty darn cool. Behind me, of course, we have the set. You know, we got the Divoom Pixu 64 screen.
There it is again.
Some holiday,
Dope on the screen there.
Actual noise canceling foam behind me. The back wall down here, just to give you a little perspective. Avert your eyes, but I just want to show you what it looks like. So that's one of the strips, the LED strips that I have down on the floor. And then these 2 lamps on the sides, and that gives me all the LED, RGB coloring for the office that you see every day on stream. Pretty darn cool. Pretty much the rest of the office isn't used anymore. Like back there's my gaming PC, that's used. Over there is the
just the other half of the room is just completely unused. I've crammed all of this shit in the dead center and just decided to let everything else on the outskirts rot instead of actually taking care of the problem or doing, proper optimization of the room so that it's not a complete fire hazard that's inescapable. No, just let it rot.
PS5 speakers that go into that. Outside of that, like, I have a whole other desk in the back over there that I don't use. It just sits there.
Exactly.
And I'm going to have to figure out what to do with the TV, what to do with all that. That's like long-term stuff. I'm just happy that
he literally said that desk is rusting over in that corner when he did the walkthrough the other day.
Now, short-term, my stuff is working, So anyway, this is literally it. This is what I look at every day when I'm streaming. It's awesome. I have more room now here on the floor, with there's my little hedgehog that blocks the door.
We have How many fucking outlets is that? Is fucking like 12 outlets here? And then you've got the multiple USBs as well, so that we could plug in one thing? Are we fucking for real right now? You could have just bought a single extension instead of buying the whole... You know, I guess it doesn't matter. We'll call this future proofing, but that's just an incredibly dented purchase, if you ask me. The 12 additional outlets so that he could plug one thing into it. Big ups Adam Corona for the 2, saying no picture of your wife in your office there, bud. Yeah, no, we don't do that. No. We have stuffed animals and moving pictures of himself and game characters instead. That's far more prevalent to the life that he lives.
A little door stop
obviously.
before the wind is strong. But yeah, like this is my setup now. I'm curious what you think. I'm curious not only what you think of the setup,
I think it's
but what did you
ugly.
think about what we just did?
It's really
A
uncomfortable.
test of, you know, some new equipment. And I'm very curious what you thought about that. I already have some ideas.
Also, the test for some new equipment, I believe, means whatever camera he's holding here. I still don't know that this is not a webcam, but I don't think it is. And then obviously this microphone is the new equipment. Because of course we needed a 5th microphone, I believe, in like the past 3 years. This is the 5th one that we've bought because everyone needs 5 microphones for their one stream.
Of things that I can implement with this in the future once I get used to using it. The thing is you know, it's different. It's way different doing stuff like this than just sitting in front of the webcam and filming. So I'm curious, you know, how this looked. I'd love feedback. And
yeah, it looks
I'm gonna
like
listen to
shit
it myself now and see how it was. But thank you all for.
And he apparently did that and still decided to upload it, not acknowledging that it sounds like fucking garbage, and maybe even reshooting the whole thing with different settings, which would have been the actual thing to do. Because again, it sounds like shit. And I struggle to think of what fucking content he's even gonna make with a mobile camera and a fucking lapel microphone. He's not going to go outside. That's banned because he's going to get harassed or whatever. He can't show you around the inside of his house because he's incapable of keeping private information out of frame. So, like, who is this for? Or are we just buying electronics to buy them?
Watching. Happy holidays, everyone. Hope you're having a great Christmas. I'll
Putting
be
those
back in
poor
a couple
Chinese
days
kids to work.
to get you all caught up on the Level 1 podcast. See you Saturday, everyone. Peace out.
All right. So that was the content from the DSP Space Holiday, I suppose. Jordan Fadeaway asking if I got a super chat. Oh, I did. Sorry. I passed right over it. My bad. Saying Jordan Fadeaway with the 2. Thank you for reminding me. I read it and then I allowed DSP to talk and I got distracted. Saying DSP is acting like a dented Ryan's Toy Review clone. Well, yeah, and that's what I'm saying. It's actually just a look at my toys video on Christmas Day. It's so sad, to be honest with you, that not only is he not spending additional time with his actual family members, and I'm not talking about Cat and Jasper, I'm talking about actual family members, like if his extended family, he's not spending time with friends, he's not going out to experience a Christmas style event of lights or including some sort of tree or anything like that, and he's not going to take pictures anywhere. There's no weather for him to enjoy. He's just sitting in his room alone, looking at his toys and bragging to the internet as if anybody that's going to watch it is going to give a shit. In his own comments, I'm going to go there actually right now. I should have taken a picture. There was one comment I found incredibly funny. I'm just going to read it. Get out of here, DSP. Stop talking to me.
What is going on,
Stop. I already watched that. A young DJ commented on his video and said, "What the heck is this video? This is kind of weird." Somebody else came through and said, "Especially after already making a setup tour video." DSP responded, "This is a tech test video. You do realize it's not from my webcam, right?" So he's not only is he posting this video on Christmas Day, but he is actively responding to comments on Christmas Day that are begging the question as to why this needed to be made in the fucking first place. That's how we're spending our time. Isn't that robust and meaningful? NWO News with the 5 saying, "Such a narcissist. He thinks a close-up on his face is a good choice. But it's the only branding he has. It's the gout tee. It's his disheveled, melting face. and his name, DSP Space Gaming. That's all he has going for him. There's nothing else recognizable about DSP in a semi-positive or neutral light. Everything else is very negative, very detractor oriented. So we've got to cling to what we have, which unfortunately is this ugly, ugly fucking mug here. But with that, I think that we're done. I think that is the post-Christmas style stream from Atlas the Bookkeeper. Once again, I hope that all of you had a very robust and positive Christmas yourself. I hopefully the guy is entertaining this week and we could do it again next week. Wouldn't that be cool? I haven't heard from Unk Insider. I know he canceled last week. Okay, I don't want anybody to say that that was me. He messaged me to cancel that morning, so give him all of the flack, not me. I deserve none of that. I can't be held responsible for somebody else's stream, of course. But with that, I hope that you have a rest. I hope you have a good and blessed rest of your week, and please